All right, we're live. What's up, everybody? Bunch of bastards. I know I can't spell. Um, so you can probably read the title when it's not written wrong. I'm still terrible at intros, so who wants to go?
I'll go
Professionalism
ahead.
isn't something I'm abundant with.
I'll go ahead and take it from here. So my name is Danny B from DannyBTalks here. If you notice my shirt here, I did get to go to the Charlotte race this weekend, as well as our special guest we have in here tonight. You may have seen him a little bit more because he's kind of gotten a little bit more mainstream views than we have. Mr. Elijah Burke is here with us tonight. You may know him better as the NASCAR graduate. So for all of you looking at the title, being like, "Who's Elijah Burke?" Elijah Burke is the NASCAR graduate. Now, back to me a little bit. I am Danny B from DannyBTalks. I did get to go to the Charlotte race this weekend. I've got a long vlog to edit up from the weekend, so that'll be fun. But on my channel today, I did post a new video, a really interesting topic, NASCAR Cafe. Why did it fail? Being a hospitality major that I am, I wanted to go ahead and take a look at this subject, the longtime NASCAR Cafe restaurant, and I was able to just explore what it was and maybe why it failed in the long run. So I'm going to burp right there. Go watch it after the stream.
Oh, really quick, Wes Graham, Rusty will be on later. He's running a little late.
Yeah, he's the saw in the chat. He had to fly to Virginia, so I cut him some slack. He's gonna be jet lagged by the time he's ready to come on. So we'll cut him some slack.
He may actually want to sleep. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, if I was him, I'd stay as far away from us as possible. I'd take the week off. You know, no. I hope he comes back on. I'm kidding. Darian, please show up. We need you.
Yeah.
Darian's in Virginia time and Rusty's in Minnesota time, so we don't know how that stuff goes.
Yeah.
You know, Eric, he's on his vacation. He's still showing up for work.
Yeah. Mine was a little more of a vacation, though, to be fair. I don't know what he's doing in Virginia.
I'm just messing with you on that.
I almost decided to tune in during that stream. I can't remember where I was when I got the notification that y'all started. I think I was at oh, that's right. I was at a Hollywood Studios, and I almost tuned in. I was waiting in line for Tower Tear, and I almost decided to tune in because I thought that would be hilarious, but I didn't. So sorry about that. But anyway, yep, I'm Eric. Welcome to the stream, everybody. Welcome to the weekly NASCAR podcast. Yeah, I'm excited to be here back on Jared's channel. Feels like it's been a long time. Maybe did I miss the last stream that we had on your channel, or I feel like it's been a long time since I've been on your channel.
That was the Kansas stream, I think. So
I don't know.
Might have been. I don't know.
Anyway, I'm excited to be back. Excited to be able to chat and with you guys and with people in the chat room. Excited to have our special guest on, Elijah Burke, and I guess Rusty will be on later. Darian will be back later. So I'm excited to talk to everyone. We're gonna have a lot of people. We're gonna have a full house of people to chat with. So
6-pack.
Yes, 6-pack. Yeah. Perfect. I'm excited.
So we were also, we'll go ahead and throw this out here. We was hoping to maybe get David Land on this week, but unfortunately, he still has not responded to us. So make sure you go spam his Twitter.
And arrested for sending a bunch of a giant mob to people.
Jared Edwards is either really excited or really annoyed that Rusty's taking this long to come back to the podcast. But I'm glad you'll be excited. You'll be very well rewarded later in the stream.
You shall be compensated.
Rusty's just a little rusty.
Should we introduce our guest?
We go to a 5-pack.
I think we should. Let's bring in our other person here. So he's got this funny hat on his head. Let's tell us a little bit about that there.
Well, this is a graduation cap. I did graduate from college of Brockport, 2 Saturdays ago. This is actually high school graduation cap because I'm not paying $70 for cap and gown. I'm going to wear once. At least that was my philosophy before I figured out I'm going to have to wear it about 20 times in the past week for NASCAR and for Richmond Raceway and all this stuff. So, yeah, unfortunately, I've gone a little bit viral, trying to find a job at the moment right now. But had some leads with people I've met in NASCAR. Of course, I know many of you probably saw the video on Twitter. If you haven't, then go check it out at Elijah Whosoever on Twitter. But it's been a total blessing so far, really, but a lot of fun. And I'm glad to be here on the podcast, of course. Glad Daniel asked me to be on.
And really quick, I don't know if Danny's filled you in yet, but we do a thing every week. Everyone in the chat, lick that like button.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we got at least double that number now. Come on now.
The ratio is not enough for us right now. 33 to 19. We need that ratio to be much, much higher up.
And I will say this, 33 for here on Iceberg's channel is getting pretty good. Happy to see that the numbers are growing for all of us here.
Yeah, I usually get up to like in the 50s or 60s.
But I mean, to have just started,
Yeah. And we're up to 26 likes. Good job. Keep it up. Keep licking.
Yep.
So, Danny, I know you're at the race this weekend, and I saw some people asking in the chat, were you the one hacking into drivers' radios and spamming them with profanity? Was that you, troublemaker?
Mm.
Did you see who was doing it?
That was alien communication up there.
I was not the one who did that, although, of course, I had no clue that was going on being at the race. I only found that out until days later. But I did see someone tweeted at me that they saw me on like the NASCAR on Fox footage. I'm assuming it might have been something where they was like maybe going to a commercial or something like that, and they just showed some fans in the crowd, and there's DannyBTalks.
Yeah, well, that's basically what they did. They highlighted you. They expected you to say something, like they dialed you up, like said, "Hey, Danny, this is DW in the Fox Sports booth. Do you copy?" And you just never answered. And we were like tweeting at you.
Headphones.
Like, you got to answer. Well,
headphones weren't working.
You can set the record straight here tonight. That'll work.
I thought it was funny. It took that long for somebody to hack radios in NASCAR. Like, I'm surprised that's sooner than that.
That is really surprising. Like, I mean, because if you think about it, if you rent one of those scanners from Racing Electronics, you could probably easily program one of those in order to do that with them.
Oh, Wes Graham put in there, and I think I tweeted this out at some point or retweeted it, that someone actually climbed up onto the fence during the race.
Yeah, did you see that, Danny?
That happened over there in like a little bit out of turn 4, and I was closer, like I was a little bit past the start finish line, so I didn't see it. But no, I did see the videos of it though, and I'm like those are the NASCAR fans that just make you go like shaking my head.
Yeah. My friend sent me a Snapchat of it, like right when it happened. I'm like, you need to tweet that. Like, that's something that's going to blow up. And she's like, nah, I'm not going to get any clout from that. And then, like, literally 3 hours later, when everyone's talking about it, she's like, man, I should have tweeted that.
She probably assumed it was something that happens at every NASCAR race. And was just like, oh, people aren't going to care. That happens every week. Like,
well, it seems like it's actually happened more and more than it used to.
It happened at what was the last one that really happened that was notable was Richmond like a few years ago, right? So
that race at Richmond was so boring. That's like literally the best part of it, because I think like Keselowski led like all but like 6 laps, and then it's like the fan jumped onto went up on the fence, and I'm just like, all right, this was worth watching.
I remember that one because he got up high enough that he was just basically like, they cut to a shot of him just kind of perched up, just sitting up there. Like, not even like holding on. He's like up high enough over where it slopes, where he's just sitting up there. It's like,
someone throw me a beer.
I don't get as strong a security as at races. How do they even get like even halfway, let alone up there?
Yeah, you see, when I go to Texas, you see people walking, like security guards walking all along that little aisle by the front row. You know, there's people every 30 feet, you know, like it's a lot of people.
Yeah, you guys are looking for job openings. I'm pretty sure someone gets fired for letting that slip through. So,
but like, you know, there's been some crazy things happen with fans over the years. But I think the craziest one was, I think it was at Watkins Glen, and someone come out there to get Matt Kenseth's autograph. I think that's still the craziest thing of all time.
It's incredible that happened so recently.
The Denny Hamlin fan, or Chase Elliott fan from last year, Martinsville, called Denny a dirty veteran. That was the best.
And there was a picture. That guy showed up to the spring race too.
Yeah. Matt Weaver's like, I found him.
He's still here. How did he get in the track? Yeah, because I thought they said something like, "Oh, yep, he's getting banned now," and it's like, wait. I
think looking back, the police probably just sat down with the guy and was like, "Look, you ain't really trying to hurt him or anything. Just cool it, and you can come back."
It's like, listen, we hate Hamlin too. We just have to live with it.
Denny's the one who's, vouching for less fan access in the pits. And I'm like, that's not going to change his mind anymore for allowing more fan access.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and it's pretty okay. So at Chicagoland one year, it's so easy to sneak past security at these tracks. I probably shouldn't be saying this on camera, but I will. The picture in as my header that's before the streams of Chicagoland at night. I got that while being on pit road the Thursday before the race in 2014. Me and my grandpa were looking around. There was no security guard, so we just walked out onto the track. I'm like, oh, this will be a good picture. And there was somebody in the big the booth or whatever, the suites. Mm-hmm. And you see this guy the light turn on. And we're like, yeah, we probably should head back and go back to our spot. And you see the light turn off, and not a minute later, you see this truck speed right past our campsite, go lock the door, put a chain on it, or the gate, put a chain on it, and then speed away. And it's we probably got someone fired that night.
I have a short story on that. I probably shouldn't tell, but whatever. You remember those old die casts you used to get at Walmart, the Winter Circle ones, and some of the trinkets they'd have were the official fan, little hard card. It would be Jeff Gordon, official fan or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's the shape of basically a NASCAR hard card. So I put one of those on the end of a Monster Energy Cup Series lanyard. And at Pocono, you have to flash your hard card going under the tunnel with your car. That was my hard card. So I just flashed the Jeff Gordon official fan and straight through in the infield. So that's where we're going this weekend. I won't need to use it again. But I just remember I'm they need to have some sort of hey, roll down your window, check the pass, check the credential, then go. Not, I know they have a lot of cars to do, but it's just, anyone can get in, I guess.
It's Nick Sant saying, breaking news, the NASCAR busts me, making a comeback. NASCAR busts, NASCAR security.
Yeah. Here's something that I'm waiting on to happen. I'm surprised that it may have happened in the past. I don't know. But, we've seen incidents where someone steals a pace car. What if when's going to be the day when you got one of these intermediate tracks and people, camp out, get their personal vehicle in the area? When's going to be the day when they're able to somehow drive through access roads and end up finding that little entrance where you see the pace car come out, at a mile and a half or something like that? When's going to be the day when they figure out how to just come on out onto the track on their personal vehicle?
I'll hold that thought 1 second. Grant Overman says my Menard shirt came in. 8 out of 8 would bang again. Thank you, Grant. Send me a picture, tag me on Twitter. I'll retweet you, and then I'll probably like put it in a video.
Yeah, that's freaking awesome. I want to say that too. And we've showed this shirt a million times. I don't think we have to anymore. But Elijah, the thing is, he's selling a couple of T-shirts on Teespring just so he can make a little bit extra money here and there. But one of them is the emotions of Paul Menard, and it's just all the same face of him.
How about this? We keep talking about how to get vehicles onto the track, and I will pull up a picture of that and screen share. Because when in our spot in Chicagoland, we're right out of turn 4, and me and my uncle are sitting there on top, and we're like, I wonder. He goes, and he looks down at his car, and he looks, and this is during the race, because they keep the thing open, just in case the ambulance needs to get in or whatever. And he's like, I could get in my car right now and speed out onto the track, and nobody could stop me. Yeah, and it's it's true. As much as they've strengthened security, and made it more professional over the past few years, it's NASCAR tracks are some of the easiest to slip through security. It's insane.
I mean, you could do that at any sporting event, though. I mean, think baseball. Nothing stopping you from jumping out of your seat and climbing over the wall. I mean, people will chase you and you get tackled, but
that would be the equivalent of running out into the field or striking or something like that.
NBA, what was the video of this last season? There was a guy during warm-ups dressed in the Pelicans warm-up uniform.
Yeah,
shooting around before the game, and someone finally was like, "Wait, hold on a second, you chubby, you can't, you're not out here."
You can basically do all the stuff in other sports. Just NASCAR amplifies the danger level of it, and it's kind of we're not going to really police it, and we just really hope it doesn't happen because it's going to cost us a lot of extra money and a lot of extra time. It's
They're
if it happens, then we'll take care of it. Like, you know, like cars coming over the fence or whatever. They're like, okay, now we need to slow things down. We knew that was probably going to happen before, but now we need to change things. So,
well, it's like, it kind of reminds me of like, we were driving to Arkansas to see my family, and we were in there and stuff. And it's like, I forgot like what the situation was. Like, I think we like had sort of lost track of where exact road we were at. My mom's like, Jarrett, one of the first things you need to know about the South is it's just like the North, except there's way less signs. And it's like, and then they put a sign up when they need to. And it's like, that's NASCAR, just like that right there. It's like, who says that it's left its Southern roots? Here, I'm gonna screen share that shirt now. Here it is. So
how many purchases on that?
One. Grant is such a good person. Well, it's like I told Danny, I'm like, yeah. He's like, how many sold? I'm like, none. This is a few weeks ago. I'm like, none. But I have faith. I have faith in our fan base.
It doesn't cost anything to leave it up there, you know.
Yeah. But
Grant with the hard shout out.
Yeah.
What about that guy? Who's that guy? Is it Larry Spencer or something? That huge Menard fan on Twitter who buys like the Get Hard for Menard shirt and all that. I'm pretty sure he would purchase more than one.
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna
Jared audience, Jared.
Oh, I'm gonna buy my own shirt, and I'm gonna wear it to Chicagoland on race day.
Hey, I did that. I wore this to Texas. I don't think it upped the the sales much or any.
But I think the difference is that I'm going for the comedic approach.
Yeah.
And I think I can get a few drunk people to order stuff if they think it's funny.
I really need to design a better DannyBTalks shirt because like what I got now is just it's just really basic. But speaking of Menards, when I was at Charlotte, you know, of course, when you go to races, if you're a NASCAR fan, NASCAR collector, you're going to be buying some stuff. Well, I added my first Truck Series diecast to my collection here. Got the Menards, Matt Crafton Toyota Tundra from last year when he won the Eldora race. My light is bright as crap here, but it's a really cool truck. None of the hood don't open on it or anything. It's definitely less detailed, but as far as like everything else, like as far as like the body and stuff goes, it's pretty good, I guess.
I'll raise you the Kyle Larson Eldora win in 2016.
Nice.
I'll put up the one that's right behind my computer.
Yeah,
it's a miniature Dale Earnhardt 98.
That's beautiful.
I like that.
Yeah,
I wish they still made stuff like that, like not just a diecast, but like the scenery around it.
There is a great guy. If you're on Facebook, his name is Craig Dalton, and I've actually ordered something through him because I've got the 2017 Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Talladega win car because that was the first and only race I've been to at Talladega, and he actually makes realistic like track paces and victory lane sceneries, and he's actually going to be making me a Talladega victory lane scene for the Ricky car. And when I get it, I'll probably actually unbox it and do a review on it.
That reminds me of that one Michael Waltrip commercial where he's at the autograph booth, and it's like, oh, yeah, here's the car from your 2006 race at Pocono, and there's all burned up. And he's like, here's 90 Bristol. You can just sign one of the bigger parts.
Just dumps out the paces.
Yeah, just sign one of the bigger parts there if you could. Or the Sammy Hagar one. I can't drive 55. It opens the door. It's like, can you turn it down a little bit? Can you drive a bit faster?
Can't decide whether I like my light on or off. I don't know.
That sounds like a you problem, man.
It is a me problem. So let's talk about the race. What do we think about it?
Depends. First half or second half? What are we talking about? Or
well, here's what happened. Here's what happened for me. I show up. The pre-race activities is a lot of fun. Fortunately, finally, a race for me without any rain. Well, thank you, Lord. I show up, have fun outside the track, go into my seat. The pre-race ceremonies at the Coke 600 is amazing. They keep it so patriotic. And for me, the they do this thing where they bring in the Black Hawk helicopters and they actually deploy troops down onto the racing surface. They did that right in front of me. So when you watch my vlog that'll be coming out, I have good footage of that going on right there in front of me. And so I loved all that. But then we get to the race and I see the M&M car, and then next thing I know, oh, hey, he won. Okay, cool.
I mean, I think, the first half of the race was, I'm going to say the first half of the race was good. I enjoyed the first half of the race. You had, again, not that much passing for the lead, but you had enough yellows to keep the restarts were fantastic. Some of the best restarts I've seen in a mile and a half in a long time. There were 3 wide every single restart. And it wasn't like one lane was a clear. The bottom lane was definitely a disadvantage, but it wasn't so bad that it was just like, it was annoying. Like I hate at Martinsville sometimes when a driver who maybe has a second place car gets stuck on the outside lane on a restart and loses 10 spots. That pisses me off more than anything. So the restarts were fun, and you had a lot of those in the first half of the race. You had wrecks, but not like, not the dangerous wrecks that people secretly like but won't say publicly. You didn't have dangerous wrecks. You just had spins. Like I still don't know how the Johnson spin with that Logano got involved in. I don't know how that wasn't a 10-car pileup. That was crazy to me. So you had exciting, interesting things like that. But the second half of the race, at that point, you still had Kyle Busch dominating, and you still had a little bit of passing back in the pack, but it wasn't the same. And I liked, I'm not gonna lie, I liked seeing Harvick wreck early. That was a nice change of pace, nice twist, nice plot twist. You don't see that too often. I'm sitting here like, oh, here he is up to 15th. Yep. It's lap 5. He's already 15th. Oh, now he's 10th. Oh, look, now he's in the top 5. Oh, he's in the wall. There we go. Okay, now just when I thought I'd seen everything.
Yes. See, looking back at that though, I really think if that hadn't happened, it probably would have been a better battle between him and Kyle Busch that night.
That's true. I think that would have been, I think the mile and a half, I think I said this on an episode of my show recently and I firmly believe it. Everyone always says, if you want to win the championship, you got to learn the mile and a half package. You have to be dominant at the mile and a half. Martin Truex last year won 7 races on mile and a half racetracks. He won the championship. It's all about the mile and a half because that's what the playoffs are full of. And I think typically you see this year, class of field has been Harvick and Kyle Busch. And I think it looked like, at least early on, they were going to be the class of the field here at Charlotte. And I think, obviously when Harvick got knocked out, there's really been nobody close to Harvick or Kyle Busch. Truex has been the next closest, and guess that's why he finished second. But he's hasn't been nearly as close as Kyle Busch or Kevin Harvick consistently. So yeah, that's true. That was probably a downside. But I don't know. In my opinion, I'm glad. I would have rather Kyle Busch win that than Harvick, just because I don't know. I want to see them neck and neck. I don't want Harvick to build a big lead in wins. I want to see the two of them. I think it's bad for NASCAR if one driver, especially kind of a polarizing driver, like I feel like Harvick or Kyle Busch is. I feel like it's bad if one of them just wins all the races. But if you have 2 or 3 cars, polarizing or not, because a lot of people hate Kyle Busch, a lot of people don't like Kevin Harvick, you have them neck and neck. That's a very interesting battle. I think I always compare other sports. I don't know why I do this. It's because I watch a lot of sports, I guess. People get mad at me sometimes. Like, you can't compare NASCAR to baseball, but I'm going to anyways. Think about in the 90s and early 2000s when the steroid era was big in baseball. You had Sammy Sosa versus Mark McGwire hitting 60, 70 home runs, constantly trying to one-up each other. It was a huge storyline every year. It was a big deal for baseball, and I think it helped baseball grow a lot. And I think that's something that NASCAR and other sports can take advantage of. Jeff Gordon versus Dale Earnhardt back in the day. You had Jimmy Johnson in the 2000s versus kind of a revolving door of people. You'd have maybe Jeff Gordon good one year. Maybe, you might see Tony Stewart good another year, Matt Kenseth or Denny Hamlin, So I think it's good for NASCAR when you have 2 or 3 people close. And I think that's why the Coke 600, a lot of people didn't like it, because at the end of the day, you only had one driver that was clearly the class of the field. But at this point, it's Harvick and Kyle Busch way up here. Truex is here. Logano's maybe here as well. And then everybody else is down here. And that's just the way it is right now.
Yeah, if one of those two doesn't win the championship this year, as much as I don't like either of them, there will be a change. Like they cannot have it where these two are so good all year. Because these guys, Kyle Busch, he gets better through the summer too, and Kevin Harvick is better towards the end of the year. There's no way you can tell me that these guys aren't going to add probably 3 or 4 more wins each by the end of the year. It's just a matter of which one wrecks out first in a race or which one has a certain good pit stop. So pray for Kevin Harvick's pit crew that he doesn't have to cuss them out too much.
Yeah, and also it seems like majority of this season, the races where there was a few where he didn't, but majority of the races that Harvick didn't win this season is because he crashed out.
I mean, that was Auto Club. He was coming from the back again, wrecked out. before he could do anything with it. So that's definitely a big example. I think that was the one race Truex won. So that's what happens. He's able to jump in there when one of these guys struggles. So
yeah, I think one of the problems here with NASCAR's marketing, and I don't want to, in social media, I don't want to criticize them because there's work with them, but they have to take advantage of Harvick versus Busch and capitalize on this. I've seen one graphic, and I think it was before the Kansas race, where they kind of did an Instagram picture where they pinned them head to head, like Harvick this many wins versus Kyle Busch this many wins. And I'm like, you're right. Like, this is literally, it's head to head, and it's probably going to be like this all year. So why not take advantage? Change some of your commercials, advertise the race from here's 6 drivers sitting around a table and they're all talking with that deep, intimidating kind of theatric NASCAR voice, like Richmond, Charlotte, like you're gonna have to beat the best. Like put Harvick and Kyle Busch, like that's what it's about right now. Like capitalize on that and market that, because that's what you're gonna see. That's the fight for the championship. And like you said, Eric, if we sorry, Eric, but like you guys said, if one of them doesn't win the championship, it's gonna be a flaw. So they have to market them as hard as they can. And overall, like race-wise, I thought it was, it's not, may not be the best race, but the fact that Kyle Busch can go out and dominate after what Harvick's been doing, you can walk away and say, okay, this is another huge storyline in comparison to how Harvick's been doing, how Busch has been doing, and going forward, what this battle is going to be like. I'm interested to go into Pocono and see who's going to be the best, because remember it was Harvick, Kyle Busch, and Blaney battling at the end. Blaney's been fast this season, even faster, I'd say, now with the 12 car. So I think it's still going to be Harvick and Busch right at the end of it. And the only reason Busch didn't get to battle with Harvick last year is because he only had 2 tires instead of 4. So if we can get them on equal tires, I think you're going to see side-by-side racing and battling for the win.
I'll agree with you there on the marketing side of things. I think that Fox, NASCAR's team, needs to take advantage of their relationship, being within the Fox Sports Group. Work with the UFC marketing group and figure out how they would promote one of their fights or something like that, because that might be the best thing to do if they want to focus on, hey, we're getting away from it being anyone's game to really realize it's down to 2.
Well, and speaking of marketing, from what the chat has said and from what I see, we have a presidential candidate who has joined us, Rusty for President 2020. What's up, man?
What's up, guys? Sorry I was late. A little bit of technical difficulties on my end, but thanks for having me on. Looking forward to this. I saw we got a social media celebrity with us. That's pretty sweet. So what's up? Is it Elijah?
Yeah, how's it going, Rusty?
Good. What's up? Welcome. That's really cool.
Thank you.
that is a nice shirt, Rusty. I must say, I am envious.
You guys talk about the ugly shirts each week, so
oh my God.
So here's the thing. I'm not usually a fan of those style shirts, but for some reason that one with the Blaney stuff fits you.
Man,
but of course, that's nice. I said, because I was saying like the ones for Bowman, the ones for Elliott. I could never pull one of those off, but that one fits you for some reason.
The Blaney ones, no matter what it is, his shirts all look better for some reason. I don't know if it's because I'm used to like the Darby type, like 88, 24, and 9. Like you see those and you're like nah, they're too gaudy. And you see the Blaney ones, you're like, I like Blaney, like his stuff. I don't know if it's the color scheme or something, but they just all look better than the other drivers.
Yeah, I've been wanting to pick up some Bubba shirts, but there's like nothing out there that I like. Like I'm waiting for NASCAR.com to get their stuff together because I'm ready. I want it.
Yeah, I have to wait. Shirt of his, which I like, but I personally can't wear like the gaudy stuff. But more power to the people who can wear it and wear it out in public. That used to be me all the time, but
when you get to my age, you just don't care anymore.
I'll get back around there.
Rusty, you need to order you one of the speed crates for Bubba Wallace and just get whatever they send to you.
Well, I noticed Blaney and Bubba have been wearing like a new branded hat the last couple weeks, and it's like I want that. Like I can't find it. So
I actually got some pretty nice hats over the weekend. This is a new nationwide hat here for me, but I went to the Hendrick shop. And I picked up this pretty nice Hendrick Motorsports hat too. It's mesh. Cool. It's black and mesh back. I love the mesh back hats.
Oh, it's like the one I have here. It's the one I've been wearing, except it's
the
junior one.
This one is the Unifit, like it fits like no matter what size your head is really. And then I got another hat that I'll be wearing it. I might just wear it every now and again too, but I'm especially gonna wear this with like a throwback hat for the throwback stream whenever we get closer to Darlington. The Davey Allison, now Hall of Famer hat here. I like that style hat right there. That's a good looking hat.
Yeah, that's a nice look right there. Wow.
I know it's not NASCAR, but what's the chat think of my shirt?
I had someone in a stream recently like spamming me with questions about Guns N' Roses, and I didn't know what was going on. Like they asked me like 4 questions in a row about the band Guns N' Roses, and I'm like, they're good. I don't,
That's why before the stream when they were like, when's it starting? Well, it's starting already. And I was like, it's the great Axel, and we've lost Rusty.
Oh my goodness, that's okay.
I was like, oh nope, now we've gained him back. But as I had said in this chat beforehand, as the great Axl Rose said, all we need is a little patience.
Wow, it seems very polarizing in the chat. However, I don't know about this.
Somebody said that they need that hat. If you're referring to the Davey Allison one, that you can go to the Davey Allison store website. I'm trying to see if I can remember what it was here. I think it's I'm trying to pull. Yeah, if you go to DannyBTalks.com, you can get that hat as well as an inverted color version of it too. And then if you're looking for that Hendrick hat, well, you might just actually have to go to the Hendrick shop because that's where I got it.
Man, Eric Pate, I'm gonna say is his name. Man, you got a terrible taste in music, man. Listen to Cardi B or something.
You know, he says Green Day is better.
Irrelevant.
Someone said they want the Alex Bowman hat. I'll be honest, it's actually a Dale Jr. hat, but it was $5 at the Hendrick store. And the good thing about it is it doesn't even have the Dale Jr. name. It just has the Nationwide logo, the Hendrick Motorsports logo, and then it's got Dale style of the 88, but that's not so much of a difference that it really matters.
That's why I dig this hat. It doesn't have Matt's name on it anywhere, so I can pass it off as a Kenseth or a Jones hat on any given day.
There you go.
My Nationwide hat back there again doesn't have a name on it. Heck, even for a while, one of the Budweiser hats that I had didn't have anything, so I could be like, oh, well, it could be a Casey Kane hat.
Back when Casey Kane was a great choice for Budweiser.
I remember I listened to this. They used to have like these different NASCAR live streams on or like podcasts back in 2008 on iTunes, and I was listening to one of them, and it's like, great. This is all we needed. Now we already had a bunch of random college age girls coming to the track and partying and everything. Now all we need to do is make sure that they're drunk and chasing after Casey Kane.
Wes Graham brings up an interesting comment. I don't know if y'all have heard the rumor. Did you hear about the Supra coming to the Xfinity Series next year for Toyota? It's a rumor. I don't think it's been confirmed.
If Adam Stern says it, I feel like it's confirmed.
Okay, I don't know.
That's like my go. I mean, he gets the news for everyone else somehow. But
so what do you guys think? I mean, I like it because at least it's different than what they're running in the Cup Series. Although I guess now Ford's going to have Mustang in both, and I guess Chevy's now going to have does Chevy still in the Camaro in the Xfinity Series? I don't even know. Yeah, they do. So I guess Toyota now is going to be the different one, but I don't know. A lot of new cars.
It's better than using the 2016 Camry body because I don't know if that style car, if they were really going to be able to make a good way to make the 2017 Camry without it looking identical to the Cup car. But this one should be unique enough to really stand them out with that particular body style because I don't know. I'm kind of old school. I think they really just need to have the same body style for both like they used to because I mean used to you could the only difference between a Busch Series car and a Cup Series car was the engine really and that was it.
I think the whole deal is they don't want to lose their advantage they've had with the 18 Camry and Cup because to learn an entirely new car and see what it's done for Chevy, I think, is a big concern. Like you can kind of toss an Xfinity and play around with it a little bit, and they know that they easily have the most money poured in the Xfinity Series, especially with their developmental program, that they can kind of take a risk and see how it's going to be. And with Toyota, it's already going to be pretty good. Like they can bring in a new bottle. I mean, the 2018 Camry came in and they were, they won with Truex at Las Vegas. Like what, 3 or 4 races into the season. That's huge. We haven't seen nearly any of that with Chevy. You can even say Dylan's win was just, it's not really, doesn't count in my book because it was not really a race where it's a restricted play track. That's about it. So I think the Super is going to look nice. I wonder how they're going to like contour to a stock car though, because it kind of sits really low for the street version. That's what I'm interested to see.
It looks like a Corvette, and I just don't know how that's going to transfer into a stock. Yeah, like a stock car that remotely matches what the other teams are running. Thank you, Eric. Yes, my Astros, I think they're losing right now. They were playing the Yankees earlier. I think we were getting our butts kicked a little bit, but that's okay. We'll beat them when it counts.
Kid from Georgia was saying how he hates college girls at the track and stuff because they don't know what's going on. And I'm like, dude, play your cards right and you won't care what's going on either.
Or you could be like me and take a college girl that you're dating to a race for the first time. A few months later, she's hooked on it as much as you are. And then you're figuring out that, holy crap, she's got a diecast collection that is like almost as big as mine now. So I know she's watching the stream right now, so I'm gonna get a message here soon about that. But no, I think it's awesome to have her as big of a fan as she is. So
goals, man. Oh, jeez. Yeah, Carnation. What Carnation's updating. By the way, I do have to check one thing really quick with him. So, yeah, NASCAR Wolf 03, we all like football, but the thing is, every time we talk about football, the rest of the chat hates us, so we don't really have that.
There's nothing to talk about with football.
My Vikings might get another linebacker. Oh, the excitement!
Oh my goodness.
I'll say this: I saw the Panther Stadium when I was in Charlotte, so that was cool.
Do you hear who actually, and this can pertain to racing, who is looking at buying into owning that?
Yep, our good buddy Brian France.
Oh, there's another NASCAR personality.
Oh, who?
Some guy named Dale Earnhardt Jr.
I didn't hear that.
That was in the rumor mill that him and Amy were two of the people that wanted to.
Is he related to Jeffrey Earnhardt?
Possibly. Possibly. I know Jeffrey's a pretty big star, so people might ask that a lot, but I'm not sure.
I think he's that driver that they got rid of so my guy Bowman could drive the car or something.
Yeah, something like that.
It was long overdue.
See, now we just sound like every fan that's jumped into the sport like from about 2009 on. It's like
I'm sorry, Dale. I love you.
You can always tell when fans talk about Junior, you can always tell when they jumped in and started watching the sport. You can like tell like if it was around, if they started watching like 2008 and earlier, you can tell. And then it's like, but the 2009 on are like the ones that are always like, oh, he sucks, he never did anything. It's like, yeah, go on YouTube and then check me out too while you're there. I want to check something out really quick, by the way. So,
isn't Dale Jr. a big Redskins fan though? So why would he buy the Panthers?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense because they're in the NFC too.
If I'm gonna own a baseball, basketball, football team, I want to pick my favorite team. I mean, if I got the money to, I don't know. I guess he lives in North Carolina. I guess that's why. Maybe he's becoming a Panthers fan.
That's the same.
He
thing
sent a second favorite team.
That's the same thing with Michael Jordan. He owns a Charlotte team, or he had ownership in it.
Yeah, but didn't he play for Charlotte at the end of his career?
No, I think he.
No, I think he was just at the Bulls, wasn't he?
No, he played for the Jazz. Or was it the Jazz?
No, it was the Horn. I'm pretty sure it was Charlotte. I think it was the Bobcats at the time. I'm looking it up.
Yeah. We'll race to figure it out.
Oh, I'm stupid. It's
Wizards. It was Wizards.
Wizards. Yeah, never mind then. Here, we were both wrong. We both suck. Don't take any of our opinions seriously about it.
You can tell that some of us are serious NBA fans.
And you think that we can talk about other sports?
Yeah, my goodness. This is why people tell me to stick to NASCAR anytime I start talking about anything.
You can tell the NBA fans.
I watched the Bulls.
2009 on.
We watch grown men drive a car left for 400 laps. What do you think? What do you think we think about besides that?
I don't know. They think we think about grown men in tights, jumping onto each other and taking each other to the ground.
Ooh, ouch.
I'm so sorry for you, Eric. I feel like the poor
yeah.
Thunder feel like they face so much scrutiny every day.
Go watch Urinating Trees video and you can hear the opinions on them.
Gino's right. He says Michael Jordan did play college ball at North Carolina, so maybe that's where his ties to the Hornets come from.
Yeah.
So there you go. Thanks for chiming in, buddy.
Stop talking about the Cavaliers and Warriors Association of Basketball.
All right, what should we talk about? We talked a little bit about the race. Do we have anything else? Rusty, what did you think of the Coke 600, Rusty?
Yeah.
I actually, the more I think about it, I'm kind of shocked at the overall, just overwhelming like negativity towards it. I know Kyle Busch won, so that's part of it. And there wasn't passing for the lead again. But from second on back, I was entertained. I like Eric, you brought it up before how some people don't watch NASCAR for the speed, but like you could see the cars like they were just I don't know, something about that race. I found it pretty entertaining.
Yeah,
especially compared to last week. I think that helped make them look a lot faster compared to last week.
Yeah,
especially if you watch the qualifying session, I should say.
I will say this, when you see this Coke 600 and you compare it back to the All-Star race, I will say that racing style we saw, and I think Radman might have talked about this a little bit more last week, a lot of it does have to do with the track that they're doing it at, because Charlotte is a much better track to drive on, because we did see some pretty good stuff and some pretty close racing like a little bit further back. But I think a lot of it might have to do more with the track itself than it really does that package. Now, I still want to see that package more at other tracks, but that probably has a lot to do with it.
I think that's exactly right. I mentioned that in my episode. Charlotte still is a mile and a half that has 24 degrees of consistent banking on, both sides of the track, the corners. You look at, that's how Texas used to be. They got rid of that and screwed that track up. Las Vegas is, I think it's slightly less banked. Darian would be here to correct me, but I believe it's slightly less banked. You look at some of these other tracks have progressive banking because they're idiots.
Yeah.
You look at, I think Atlanta also is consistent, but it's so rough these days. It's hard to compare that to anything. I think Charlotte right now is the best mile and a half track, and that's why you could see, despite all the problems with this aero package, you could see cars catch and pass people without too much issue. It might take a lap or two. You might have to work them around a little bit, try a different lane, but most of the time, if you're faster, you could pass them without too much issue.
Yeah, Vegas, I have my magazine right here with the tracks. Vegas is 20. Let's see what else there is.
I think Charlotte, Texas is 24.
What is
Kansas
Atlanta?
Is 17 to 20. I think Atlanta is 20.
I thought it was
24. Yep,
okay,
24.
It's the same.
That's surprising, because when I was at Atlanta and I went to Atlanta, then I went to Charlotte. Just thinking back to what I saw, I really thought that Atlanta looked like it was not as steep as Charlotte.
I think maybe that's, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think part of that might be that the fact that I think it's a little wider than Charlotte. I think that might be part of it too.
Maybe. It probably is.
Chicago is 18. I'm just going through all the cookie cutter tracks really quick.
Yeah.
This package is going to be super fun to see on the wider tracks too. You're going to have so many guys get runs and going 3 and 4 wide. I feel like Chicagoland is probably one of the places you're going to test it at. If not,
there, yeah. Well, I think the reason they will, and the reason you're right about that is because that's NBC's first race back. And with Dale Jr. being in the booth, let's not fool ourselves here. Like, Jr. is pretty tough when it comes to talk. Jeez. It's pretty tough when it comes to – I know, I was like – but Jr. is not really the best when it comes to talking without stuttering around and stuff. He's even worse than me at times. But they need to give these guys stuff to talk about. And I really think that Chicagoland would be – and Chicagoland's been one of the better mile and a halves, which I think isn't much of a testament to Chicagoland as much as a testament to how bad the racing at the mile and a halves has been. So I could definitely see him trying it there. And then I think the second Michigan race, and I don't think they'll try it at Indy because that's the race right before the chase.
That's a good point you make about NBC's first race, because I totally forgot. I looked at the schedule. I'm like, it's not Daytona anymore. Where's that hype going to come for their first race? Because NBC does a lot of marketing, and I'm excited for them to be able to market Indy next year because ABC, ESPN did nothing. But they really hype it up. Like, they had a commercial during the Super Bowl for their return to NASCAR coverage, I think 2 years in a row, which is huge. That's not coming until July.
They had Nick Offerman doing it, which was
– yeah.
I remember like when we have all the fear is gluten, there's trouble afoot.
They paid for that was like a 2-minute spot.
NASCAR.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, because I think a 1-minute spot is like what, $5 or $6 million.
I think that's for 30 seconds.
That's God, and people are saying the NFL is strapped right now for money. God, not to mention their like $15 billion TV deal, and I'm not exaggerating. And then people, people.
Yeah, but I think we're going to see this package more, especially if I forgot who they had on Sirius XM, but I remember reading the J-Ski article on it yesterday that they are looking to test it again this year, and it's pretty much the package they're going to use next year. So why not? Like you said, by Indy,
no plates. I can't. I don't want them doing plates everywhere. Fix it with the arrow stuff. Take the tapered spacers off. Just
did they have plates for Xfinity Indy or no?
Yeah. They basically did the same thing.
I'm fine with plates at a couple of tracks, just not all of them. Like I would like to see the plates at Michigan.
I think that would be really good because at Michigan they still get up to like 210.
Yeah, they do get a little bit unsafe, and really I think really we've been more lucky to just not have a big grip because I'm really surprised at the speeds they get. We haven't seen something like a what happened to McDowell, Texas 2008, something like that, something go wrong and hit the wall really hard.
I was at the race in 2012 after the repave, and it was astounding. Like the first time by, I think because I know Marcus Ambrose won the pole, but I think he led the first lap, and like those few leaders, once they got single file and like into a bit of a draft, it's like it was the fastest I'd ever seen a car go in person. I mean, they were down the front straightaway. I think some of them got up to like 221. My little stealing a line from Kyle Petty here, but it was incredible.
Everybody? Yeah!
Oh, goodness.
Woo! Wow.
Sorry about
Danny's
that.
2 for 2 when it comes to.
Well, they're using the package for Xfinity at Pocono this weekend, and I'm excited to go because that Xfinity race at Pocono is kind of like, it's not always the best. Like, Breeze to Pocono aren't always the best, but this, I think, with the long straightaways and the tight corners, it's going to be something to watch for. And Xfinity drivers, they're always wild and aggressive, especially when, if something happens to Kyle Busch or Keselowski or whoever's entered in 22. I think it's actually Paul Menard this weekend.
Get hard for Menard.
Yeah, LTI printing or something.
Well, that was you kind of mentioned that was kind of my takeaway from the All-Star package was they just didn't have enough time to get a draft and enough momentum down the backstretch and front stretch. So I hope they do tested the Cup package at Pocono, at Michigan, at Indianapolis, like some of these longer, bigger tracks, because I think Charlotte was a little bit too small for what they brought. I mean, they can tweak it here and there, but I think you need the bigger straightaways to get the big run.
I think what was interesting, we saw it in the All-Star race, and I think it's kind of the truth in a lot. I heard a few drivers talk about it kind of awkwardly the last few days. I think I heard Junior mention it. I heard Matt Kenseth mention it, and I heard might have been Truex. I don't remember who else I heard mention it. But the fact that, you give a team any package, even if they were to stick with their restrictor plate package for intermediate tracks for years to come, you give a team anything like that for more than a few races, people will figure it out. And like even the All-Star race, Kevin Harvick was unpassable when he got to the lead. He figured it out, which he's figured out freaking everything this year. So over time, I think you can still get – I think people still get frustrated, especially no matter. I don't want to say it's a lost cause. There are some packages that are still better. Every year, there's teams that are going to figure it out and be the best teams every year. To change it, that's normal. But I think I worry that it's almost a losing battle. I agree. I don't want plates. Plates are not the long-term answer, but because people would figure them out and really make that racing. Because if you're going to put restrictor plates on the car, if you're going to really manufacture the racing to that extent, you have to make sure it's great racing. And unfortunately, I think guys like Kevin Harvick and other teams would probably still manage a way to make it boring. And then that would just piss everybody off at that point. You need to at least keep the racing exciting. So I hope they're able to test some stuff at, whether it be at Michigan or Pocono, or I know whatever they're doing later this year in the any future mile and a half like Chicago, hopefully. I hope that it's closer. Like everyone's been echoing, I hope it's closer to what we saw in the mid 2000s and beforehand.
Yeah.
and just with no plates. That's the thing. You don't want plates. I know I said I'd be okay if they left the plates on all of this year, and honestly, I still would be. Honestly, for the rest of this year, I don't care.
Yeah.
But not next year, not the rest of, not long term. But I was pleasantly surprised. The Coke 600 I thought was going to be a terrible race. I thought the whole race was going to be like that second half. The first half was great, and the second half still had more passing than I thought it would. It's just not for the lead. So
Well, what about call the aero ducts? I mean, those are probably one of the most genius inventions for stock car racing in terms of, getting into that wake of the draft and not having that air resistance with the car behind, to get up there, close the gap, bump draft. I think seeing that at Indy the first time was amazing. And
Yeah,
you put that with the giant spoiler and the splitter, as much as I hate the splitter, and I think we all do it to some degree, it really does put the entire package in perspective and help it out a lot.
I just think back to the great battle we saw there at the end between Byron and Menard, and really just the whole race in general. That was just some good, like, hard racing. Like, both drivers knew they had fast cars. It was just going to be who could drive it the best.
I got to ask, so everyone's seen the finish to the 2001 Atlanta race, but I do have to ask, which ones of you guys have seen, like, from 10 to go on, not just the last lap, but like the last 10 laps? So have any of you guys ever watched that all the way through?
Maybe, but I don't remember it off the top of my head.
Yeah, that Atlanta race, I think it was like lap 8 or 9 or 7 to go, where it was like a 5-car battle for the lead. That was like as good as it gets.
That's right.
Yeah, it was like, I want to say there was Harvick, Jarrett, Nadeau,
Junior,
Gordon. Yeah, and yeah, that's right. Junior was in it. Wow. I think I would remember that. but yeah, and they were like just completely under a blanket. There were cars like getting runs in the draft up to them, and then as soon as they'd pull out, they'd start to pass them and hit that wall of air and have to be more strategic with it. And I think that if NASCAR can get that without having to manufacture it, that right there is perfect. Like, that is the perfect mile-and-a-half kind of racing. Like that 2000s, early 2000s through about even the first Atlanta race, even though the tires sucked in 2008 wasn't that bad. Even the second one, really. So like if you get like 2000 to about 2008 style Atlanta back at every one of the mile-and-a-half tracks, you're set racing wise. Like, you don't have to, you just basically got to worry about what time of the day. Because I think we're talking about how like the first half of the race this past weekend was really good, and then the second half really tapered off. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that a lot of these keep doing at night or later in the day when the track is cooling off.
Yeah.
Yeah, Charlotte during the day is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, even during the Coke 600 at night, you had that higher lane working, but I think that's because we've been racing on it all day. And you got the grooves going, and the VHC, I guess, helped a little bit. But I mean, when you put a day race there, like the Open, for instance, from last year was just some of the best racing, and the year before. And even the fall race from last year, also very good. It's total day and night, literally, for Charlotte, in darkness or sunlight. And I know there's like the draw of, this is the night race, and Charlotte, did it first here. We were the first night race. And I get they have that going for them, but someone there, and they must all realize the racing product is better during the day. Maybe not from a marketing standpoint. You can't market like, come under the lights and watch, NASCAR, battle it out for the All-Star. But during the day, it was just that much better, personally.
I remember back in 2007, 2008, around that time, that they would start, like, the first 200 laps were just strictly in daylight. And then that 200 to 300 range was like sort of as the sun was going down, so that the last 80 or so laps are under the lights. And those races were really good, like racing wise. Granted, they ended up in fuel mileage, but the racing on the track was really good. And I think they should do that, because they can market it both as good racing and then at the same time market it as the race under the lights, because technically it is under the lights.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of time in the race now. Like, I think it was the last 140, 150 laps are kind of under the lights. Teams have time and a couple pit stops to be able to change their cars for nighttime. And you have the last 80 laps under there, you almost don't have time to react. And like at the end there, Keselowski's car was coming on, and Kyle Busch caught right back up, and then he started pulling away. Truex's car was coming alive. But when you have that small window to adjust your car, I think that kind of throws everyone for a loop. And, it could be some RTA stuff where they're like, look, you got to start this race earlier because with the sun going down, we're not going to be able to, tune to our cars. It's going to be a total, crapshoot.
Well, why do they practice in the morning and kind of the daytime? Like, I don't know how many years it's been, but I don't get it. I saw Bubba sent a tweet out, but it's insanity to me.
Yeah, they had, I get it. This weekend they had all day. Thursday was kind of the ARCA deal.
It's like Friday off.
Yeah, Friday they had the dirt track deal. So
yeah, they was doing the World of Outlaws dirt track, so they didn't want to distract from that.
Yeah,
but it's also Saturday, a TV deal. I don't know.
Saturday, I don't know. They could probably do it after the race on Saturday, but no one wants to stay that long. It ends up being a super long day for the teams. Like you're gonna have, they're gonna be there working. The garage will open for them earlier. They're gonna be there all day if they can be. So, I get why they don't, and then it kind of makes for a more fun race if you can't test during your racing conditions. But I think it's more than being able to test at night problem. Personally,
it's one of those things that it would be great if they could, but they just really can't, unfortunately.
It's one of these races why they build the Coke 600 as a race that caters to veterans. That's why when young drivers like last year Austin Dillon stole it with the fuel mileage race, or when a young driver can win this race, it's even more impressive because this is a race that you're supposed to kind of rely on your past experiences in going from day to night, maybe past notes, past research, just knowing how things have worked in the past. That helps veteran drivers much more than it probably helps young drivers. Young drivers are kind of still shot in the dark guessing. So that's why they build this. That's why this race still fits in on the day of the big Monaco race, the D500. It's a big race for NASCAR because it's a unique challenge that is unlike most other races on the series.
I had to ask, aside from Austin Dillon, when was really the last, and without fuel mileage, the last young driver really to win the 600? Because the ones that, because Casey Kane, I guess you could count, but he'd been in the sport for 5 years.
I know Kenseth won his rookie year in 2000, but that was 20 years ago.
Yeah, what about Jamie McMurray 2002? Was that the 600?
No, that's the 500.
That was the fall race.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's won the fall race twice, but never the Coke 600.
Yeah, that's AB68 was the one I was thinking of with Mears in 2007, but that was a fuel mileage race.
Fuel mileage race.
Granted, he stayed on the lead lap that whole race, and that race was, people forget, was pretty damn incredible leading up to it with the between the crashes, the really good racing, different people swapping the lead. I think there were a few people that were penalized and then came all the way storing up through. There were comers and goers all night. It was probably the last great 600 I can remember.
I want to say this, and speaking of McMurray, I'm very proud of how good he ran this weekend. He looked like the 2010 McMurray out there again, and I think
save off 4 too.
Do what?
He had a great save off 4. I watched from the press conference. Incredible.
So here's the thing people have been saying for a long time. Look, Larson and McMurray got the same equipment. Like, what's the deal? I guess, maybe he's been hearing a criticism or something, because I have noticed somewhat of a little bit better performance out of him lately. He actually made the playoffs last year just on points. So,
well, I've noticed that as the season went on, like in interviews or stuff, or like comments he makes, he does seem like he has a bit more of a chip on his shoulder this year compared to other years.
I would agree. Yeah.
I'm going to check.
We could potentially see him. He's a good restrictor plate driver. Maybe he's one to watch for Daytona coming up in a few weeks.
I think, honestly, McMurray's a good driver. He's not a great driver. He's a playoff driver, never been a championship driver. I think this is more of a testament to how talented Kyle Larson is. He's taking, I think those Chip Ganassi cars are 15th place cars, and McMurray takes them and runs 10th to 15th. Whereas Larson is just, I've said this before, I think he is the most talented driver under the age of the young guns. He's the most talented pure driver, I believe. And he's taken those 15th place cars and running 5th with them. And he's been doing that for 2 or 3 years now. And I've heard this from other drivers too, say, we've heard so many people Kyle Busch has talked about how good he is. There's so many people say how good Kyle Larson is, how just surprisingly good he is in those cars. And I think it says more about just how much potential Larson has. That's why people always said for years, man, if Larson goes to Hendrick, because that's been a rumor for a long time, if Larson goes to Hendrick in their equipment, he's going to be unstoppable. That may not be the case now, but that's always been the story, because they know that he's one of the top drivers, especially one of the top young drivers. So I don't know.
So I was looking back here. You go.
Sorry, go ahead. Okay, I was going to say, touching on that subject right there with the potential for Larson to ever go to Hendrick, I think with that, the one driver I would just want to keep an eye on is, out of all of the ones they've got, I mean, potentially if Johnson retires and they bring him in, that could happen. Or potentially, I really think out of all the new ones, the most likely to maybe get released if he's not performing would be Byron, I think, because I mean I like Byron, I really do, but there's not as much like I mean maybe Bowman too, but I feel like Bowman having that Dale Jr. Backing him, it helps a lot more. Whereas Elliott's an Elliott, I don't think he's got to worry about it, even if he doesn't win for 6 more years. But I would say if Byron 4 years down the road doesn't have anything, granted he's good for a while, he still needs to get used to it, but if 4 years down the road, it could be like a Logano and Gibbs thing back when he first started with him, and might bring a chance to eventually get Larson over there. But, Larson may never go over there too.
Okay, so I was looking back here on Racing Reference of the past 600s and stuff, and the last young driver, aside from Austin Dillon, really, to win the 600 was Matt Kenseth in 2000. Before that, it was Bobby Labonte in 95, and before that, it was Jeff Gordon in 94. That's pretty much it then, looking back.
I know one Hall of Famer. Is Bobby in the Hall of Fame yet? Because he probably will be at some point. So that's 3 potential probable Hall of Famers right there.
Yeah, I think I think Terry is. I don't know about Bobby.
Terry probably is. Yeah, I don't know. Bobby's only been eligible. He might have only been eligible like 1 year. I don't know if he's I don't know how people are trying to. I don't really know how the the Hall of Fame voting works in NASCAR. I don't know how how many years you're eligible. I don't really know how the vote works these days. I just kind of listen to who gets voted in.
I think Austin Dillon's going to be a junior at Murray and just win crown jewel races, like big races, and then never anything else.
Oh, really quick, since I know we were asked about it earlier, and since it's a little over an hour into the stream, we have to ask Elijah, do you know how many laps Jimmy Johnson's led this year?
0.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, I have actually sold more shirts than he has led laps.
I was gonna say, I saw someone commented that. That made me really laugh at the time.
Yeah, I actually turned off my my mic and laughed at that because that was pretty good. Yeah.
And yes, Tyler Johnson. Like every week, Hendrick driver laps led. It's like 0 Jimmy. I think like a few for Elliott, a bunch for Bowman. Even Byron has some.
Mm-hmm.
Even Brendan Gaughan has led a lap this season.
So sad.
Hey,
I wonder how Jimmy's sponsorship deal is coming together. And I saw Red Bull was a potential, but
Red Bull would be interesting. I think if you take that like that dark like blue color of Red Bull, mix in like a little bit of red and some neon yellow, the neon yellow numbers, that could be a sick looking car.
How about this? Have it be the blue and red, and then the numbers be like a metallic silver.
Red Bull, does that really match Jimmy Johnson? Because I heard that rumor too, and I just feel like Red Bulls would be much better suited for a Bubba, for a Blaney, maybe not for a Blaney, but for
Bubba.
a Byron.
Bubba would be
also
perfect.
Thinking that like Pepsi has a relationship with Hendrick really big. I mean, they're not really on Johnson's car, but it's still like a Hendrick sponsor, a Hendrick affiliate. Then I'm thinking to myself,
somebody who works for Pepsi
hates Monster like with a passion. Like even in their pictures, they won't post like with the Monster decal on the car or the windshield. I think that's because of the Pepsi thing. I'm like, they just hate Monster that much where they'll probably accept a Red Bull sponsorship in like affiliation.
Look at my Bowman diecast here. I've got the Monster logos on there, but I had to get somebody to make the stickers in order to put it on there.
Sounds about right. It bothers me so much because they look so nice on all the cars. They really are a nice touch for any diecast.
I know there's the rumor, or I don't know if it's a rumor, but I know I've just heard murmurs that there's issues with, since Monster's the title sponsor, there's issues with 5 Hour Energy's placement in the sport. I've heard there's issues potentially that could be. I heard that could be an issue with Red Bull coming into the sport. That Monster Energy, part of their deal is we will be the one and only, and so that's why I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with 5 Hour Energy. I heard after they left Jones last year and went to Truex, now they're on Truex's car. I just thought I know there was some sort of limitation or some sort of.
I laughed my ass off when Truex won the Monster Energy Cup in a 5 Hour Energy car. I was like, that's fucking karma right there. And then and it's like, this is nothing new for the sport. I mean, the reason that wasn't Singular at the time, AT&T got pushed out of the sport. It's like they were allowed to run through their contract, however long it was. And then after that, like they were basically kicked out. Same with Verizon. They were kicked out from Penske, and it's just because Sprint didn't want the competition. And the thing that I think is more harmful with Monster is Monster's pretty much like hinted at the fact that they're almost out the door at this point, you know?
They signed that extension. So they signed one more extension for one more year, but after 2019, I think they're probably gone for good.
That's probably when the new ownership comes in.
Change too after 2019. I think they're talking about like a sponsor for the playoffs, or a sponsor for the series, or just a NASCAR Cup Series. Then each broadcast or race is like this, presented by this, like breaking it up so it's affordable for companies.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah. I know you was talking about the 5 Hour Energy and all that. I know last year they didn't even make a 164 version of Eric Jones' car, with the 5 Hour Energy being the primary sponsor. This year, they did make the 124 version, and even with the Monster Energy banners on it, which was interesting. But this year, I've seen the Martin Truex Jr. cars, both 164 and 124, do not have 5 Hour Energy logos placed on it. They'll sell the Bass Pro Shops car. You'll see Bass Pro Shops on the hood, Tracker Boats on the side, same paint job and everything. But then you'll see Furniture Row's logo where 5 Hour Energy should be, or anything else. And it's like they're just not going to do it this year.
I think that's fascinating, because I actually just ordered a Martin Truex Jr. car yesterday, and it said like in all caps, 5 Hour Energy is not on this car. And I'm like, okay.
I think it's really funny that, the NASCAR Authentics line, the one they sell in like retail stores. I had the Truex one from this year hanging above my head with Bass Pro Shops and then Denver Mattress in place of where 5 Hour Energy would be. And it's funny because on Kyle Busch's cars, they'll have the Monster Energy logo on like the B post, I think it is, and it'll say in the top corner like, this is like an adult, product, but it's sold in the kids, toy aisle. Yeah. So they'll sell that with that marking on there, but they won't sell Truex's car with 5 Hour Energy, and none of them have the Monster logos on them whatsoever. So I think it's
even like NASCAR 14, the game. Like I remember, like they had paint schemes from your favorite drivers from the They had all of them from the 2013 season, and one paint scheme from the 2014 season. Well, the 2013 version. Oh yeah, what Eric's got right there.
They put these freaking plastic bottoms on any diecast that has a alcoholic beverage as the sponsor. So every year when I get a Keselowski car, I got to take a freaking hacksaw, because they glue the bottom of the base. You got to pick the glue out or something. Then I cut this thing in half and then unscrew each half of the platform separately. And I have to do this. Like, I almost didn't buy a Harvick car. I only bought a Harvick car this year because he's winning every race, and people would get pissed if I didn't buy a Harvick car.
Even the Jimmy John's car, you got to do that too.
Yeah. So
anyway. Like every junior car I got, like from like the age of 7 to probably 12, was like, God damn it, it's stuck in the thing again, and I can't get it out.
I got jumped off playing with the junior Budweiser diecast. It's dangerous. It really is.
I remember I asked someone at one of this is a few years ago, at when they still had, I guess they still do have the haulers. They brought them back, I guess, after that one year. But I remember asking somebody at the Brad Keselowski hauler, like, why do they put these platforms on it? She just said, I don't know. I don't remember. I think she might have just said, it's all bullshit. I don't know why. But she just kind of like waved it off. She empathized with me over that fact, which I respected her for that.
Even Kurt Busch's Daytona 500 win car from last year was on a base, like the 124 was on a base like that for some reason. And I was back to what I was talking about back in NASCAR 14, I think it was. Clint Boyer his 2013 car had 5-hour energy on it, but the 2014 scheme literally just says Clint Boyer, and that's it, like in the same font as 5-hour energy. And I'm like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah, I held on to that 2013 Boyer car because of how rare it probably is now.
See, one carnation in the chat is sort of showing his age a little bit, because everyone's like, some of them are talking. Kid from Georgia, I think it was, is like, I hate Monster, but God, I love the Monster girls. And it's like, he's like calling him a pervert. And it's like, dude, like, they're dressed like that for a reason. Like,
that's
they're
how
not hiding it.
It's only a pervert with Haley Deegan.
That's how the Winston girls used to be. So
yeah, I mean, it's a motorsports thing. Look back to like old picture. Like, I have that NASCAR book. Look at the old pictures in the 50s and 60s. There's always a hot girl in victory lane kissing the winner.
Back then,
never changes.
Back then at the NASCAR races, you had the Winston girls, you had a girl for the Trek, and you had a girl. You had a girl for. You had like Miss whatever state it was in. You had lots of different girls that was there.
You had like the mascot, like you still see it like Pocono with the big fox mascot. You'd see like one of those dudes.
Tricky, it's tricky.
yeah.
I love that. I love the Bloodhound Gang version of that song better though.
It's like every single time you go to Pocono, sitting there in driver introductions, and you hear that song come on, you're like, oh god.
Well, at Michigan, they played Beastie Boys. Well,
I don't know when did the fox come along? After that fox ran across the track or something? Or, like, why is it a fox? I have no idea.
No, I don't know.
At Michigan, for pre-race introductions, when the drivers are walking out, they play Beastie Boys, No Sleep Till Brooklyn. So, but that one's a little more clever, though, and it doesn't, after that, they just play basically the instrumentals after that, but
they had the transfer score for the Coke 600 this weekend during all the introductions and all the pre-race. Like, I know this because I'm like Transformers junkie, at least the films. And I'm like, this is beautiful. Like, it's the perfect, like, score for Memorial Day, like, badassery, celebrating the people that fought for our freedom. And it's like, and they didn't even, I don't know who they go to for rights to this stuff. They just play it because they want to play whatever they can play. But it was amazing. It added a lot to the weekend, I feel like.
Tanya, one that I would love for like the All-Star race or Bristol or whatever would need to be a track, like a race that gets really hyped. They should play Walk by Pantera. Like, even if it's just the instrumentals like that, I guarantee like everyone will just be like this.
And then the instrumentals for a Linkin Park album, I think for 2014 or 15. When they came out with the Hunting Party, like no vocals, just straight instrumentals, and I'm like people who knew it were like, I know this word.
I remember that. I remember that was weird. I just remember being like, what?
Yeah.
When that stuff happens, I'm always sitting at home, like when they show stuff like for the All-Star race, or when they show different pre-race stuff, and you hear it, and you're like, wait a minute, hey, I know that shit.
What's that song? It's a famous song, but it's the same song they always play for the Daytona 500 intro with like just the really like overly dramatic, like orchestral vocals and stuff, and stuff. And it's just like really, it's like a Lord of the Rings scene going on. And I'm just
it reminds me, and this isn't spoiling anything, of like the end of the new Deadpool movie, and it's like the operatic scene, and it's like, holy fuck this shit, holy balls this shit. And it's like just that, but opera.
Yeah, it's basically just like
holy fuck this
in road 20.
What's up, Darian?
What are y'all talking about, man?
We don't know.
Opera music.
Are you sitting on the floor? What is happening over there?
Yeah, I don't know. I just got back. Yeah, I just had everything set up last minute, so.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. As long as you're comfortable.
Yeah.
In honor of Darian getting in here late, we need some late licks on that like button. So, because this 54 to 42 shit, we can't do it. And Gavin Bacon, no. Fuck no.
Hey man, hey, who went to Virginia here? Rusty or me? You guys?
Yeah.
First.
I had caught that, and I'd left something in the chat about it. But yeah, when we were going over, it was like, yeah, Rusty been in a few, and Eric, you're like, yeah, he flew over to Virginia right now. So it's like, wait a minute, I'm just gonna let it slide.
Well, hey guys, when now that we got Darren here, I think our friend Elijah might have to go. So definitely thanks Elijah for coming on tonight, and we can kind of tag Elijah and Darian in and go from there.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Guys, I appreciate you having me on and everything. It's a true pleasure. I had a lot of fun talking a lot of good stuff about racing here. Good to meet y'all, of course, over the Google Hangout. So,
hold up, you're that guy. I was like, hold up. It took a minute. I'm like, who is this?
it's the Cap, isn't it? It's the Cap.
Yeah, I was like, wait, it's the guy.
Yeah, Daniel, you better wear this. You better wear that cap because no one's gonna know who you are. And I'm like, all right, all right, Superman in the cape. But yeah, thanks so much, guys. I really appreciate it. I gotta make a couple phone calls here for this weekend in Pocono, but thanks so much. And if you ever need me on again, I'll be here.
Yep, you're welcome on it. You're welcome on anytime. Call him. His name is Elijah. Call him the NASCAR graduate, whatever you want to call him. You can follow him on Twitter at Elijah Whosoever. Is that what it is?
That's correct, sir.
All right, so go follow him on Twitter, guys.
Thanks for coming
guys.
on, man.
Peace out.
So yeah,
I was like, that's the guy.
That was great.
Yeah, that's a good moment right there.
Does he work for the track, or what does he do? It sounds like he's like in the business. Like,
well, he just recently graduated college, and he went viral when he posted a video at his graduation.
I got that.
Going through all the hats and stuff, and he mentioned this earlier. Like, he was given a great opportunity between NASCAR. He got to go kind of be like a spokesperson with them a little bit. You know, they kind of got to put him on camera doing some various things. He got to do a little bit with Ganassi Racing, Fanatics. He got to go up into the Fox Sports Hollywood Hotel a little bit. He's been working with Will Rogers a little bit, doing some PR stuff of him, and he's been doing a lot of things. He's been everywhere. He's playing his cards right. He's not like full-time or anything with anybody within NASCAR yet, but I think he's really close, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he seems like a cool dude. Knows his stuff for sure. So looking forward to seeing where he goes next.
Hey, Rusty, what's with the shirt, man? That's the shirt, bro.
we already talked about this. They were making fun of me already.
I like it. I would wear that.
No, I like it though. I like it actually.
I said this. The Bowman one. The Bowman shirt in that form is ugly to me. I can never wear it. But that Blaney one, though, for some reason, I think it's just the colors are right. It just fits him for some reason.
It looks like the Jurassic Park logo mixed with NASCAR. That's what I'm getting from it.
Kind of like the
funny
adding on to that. Well, I got the new. Can you see it, or no? It's being covered, isn't it?
Do not see.
Damn, I think it's actually being covered on that side of the screen because I have a Jurassic Park thing in the room. And
dude, that Jurassic Park shirt that's sweet. I'm jealous of that shirt.
Oh, the one I was wearing the other night.
Yeah.
Dude, thanks, man. My mom actually, like, an hour before, she's like, you need, like, she was at the store. She's like, is there any chance you need any clothes? I'm like, well, I mean, my brother keeps stealing my socks, and he's like, how about this? And sends me a picture of the shirt. And here, I'll get it really quick. It's like literally right on my bed, right next to me. But she sends me it, and I just see all these. Can you still hear me? My mic is shitty, so
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so it's basically
a
Hawaiian shirt.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, wait, on it there's Velociraptors.
Aw.
And the Jurassic Park logo.
It looks like blood stains too. What the fuck are those things?
Oh, those are flowers.
Oh, okay.
But my mom sends me a picture of it, and she's like, you want this shirt? I'm like, I send back SpongeBob GIF. I need it.
I wanted it yesterday.
So yeah, I'm like, I didn't even know it existed, but I'm like, I'm wearing this in Extreme. I don't care what the hell anyone thinks. I'm gonna first thing, like, here it is, and I'm like, all right, I already know what I'm wearing June 22nd when I go to see the new movie. Mm-hmm. And I think I'm gonna. Where's it at? Oh, I have the hard hat back here, the old race day one. Damn, it's stuck on the thing, but it's like all autographed or whatever. I'm gonna get one of the hard hats, like the start of the first Jurassic Park, and see if I can wear that into the theater. I am like the way that most people geek about Star Wars is the way that I geek about Jurassic Park stuff. Like I've recently been listening to the audiobook of the first one, and I'm just like, man, I should have reread this like a long time ago. It was funny. My English class, we actually went over Jurassic Park as a book, and my teacher, he's like, so did you read it last night? I'm like, no. He's like, I told you to read it last night. I'm like, I've read it 3 times and I've seen all the movies. You know, I'm good. I'm good.
I just want to I want to bring something up here real fast, and I think it's actually kind of interesting the way it's working out. This was posted in NASCAR shitposting group by a guy named Nick Blake. The evolution of ARCA. On the left is the driver that finished 5th in points in 2008. On the right is the driver that is currently 5th in points today. And I'll see if I can get this to come up here. Like pretty interesting. You got like I think that's Scott Speed on the left, and then you got Natalie Decker, the current 5th place points person.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
As I say in the urinating tree voice.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to Scott Speed? Where is he now? What's he doing next?
Rally car racing.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's rally car.
He's actually really good. Very consistent.
Got to live up to that name.
Oh, Alex 4219 says I was just listening to the Jurassic Park album today. That is such a good album. Like it's so underrated. But we probably should get back on NASCAR. I'm gonna go off on a friggin' tangent. See, this is why I need to get in touch with this guy called Clayton Fiardi. He's a huge Jurassic Park YouTuber. I need to like I need to get in touch with this dude.
I had the delayed reaction. I'm Jurassic Park YouTuber.
Yes, dude. There's a whole like community, man. It's awesome, and it's like everyone is so nice.
I know that there's a big Back to the Future community, which I always think is hilarious to know about. It's funny that these things exist.
They're still in the back. They're still in the back part.
Everyone's making a big deal that I said something I don't usually say. I only said it because that's actually the name of the group. I wouldn't just be like saying that.
Oh man,
that's my job. I'm so epic. Actually, we have something we have to do tomorrow, so we won't be able to do the BS stream. And the BS stream is like a once in a blue moon. If like we're all bored, we have nothing to do on the night.
If you like do that every week, it'll get like stale and boring probably after a while.
The next bye week we will actually have the main stream be a BS stream, so that'll be a little bit.
We'll have some fans on. Rusty, you want to come on that one while you're here?
Why not?
Sweet. You can be our mainstay on the BS stream.
But we'll say this: we're not going to do what we did the last time and just put the thing in the chat. So
AB68, that is the plan. Come on, dude. Keep making fun of my spelling. At least I can follow along in a conversation.
Someone said do a drunk stream. If you want a drunk stream, just go watch me watching the All-Star race when I played a drinking game. I didn't get really that bad. At least I don't think I did. So.
Oh, what Incarnation says what plans or whatever. If you're on Twitter by chance, follow me or whatever, or like tag me or something. Like I need to get in touch with you about the fan stream too, because I know you've been asking. We want to get Carnation on with you, Rusty, actually, because a lot of people have been wanting that.
Well, a week ago, I tried scheduling a stream after I was going to go see Solo, and I was actually going to invite the chat, and that was my whole plan, was to kind of interview and screen these guys for you guys. And I just couldn't get the stream running. Like YouTube kept saying like the quality wasn't good enough, and I just lost everyone by the time I got it going. So
that is probably a blessing in disguise, man. Remember when we?
It was the best.
Remember, man.
It was the best.
Oh, it was the best, but it was like for that 10-minute span there, it was like it was the shit stream.
It was chaos for headphone users, that's for sure.
With the kids jumping on the bed in the back.
It's amazing.
I still don't know who that was exactly, but gosh.
Darian, did you ever see that one?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
All right, I'm going to send you the link to it after we get done tonight.
Yeah, it was on my channel.
Yeah.
Like 2 weeks back.
Oh, that reminds me. I did a video about it earlier this week. I made a playlist of all the streams we've had, and this one will be added to it. I'll leave it on my channel, and then I'll edit it so that the newest one shows each week. But
so if you want to go on like a whole day of binge watching these things, you can do that.
That would be
if you don't get annoyed by my nasally annoying voice, congrats. You have time. You have hours and hours of content to listen to now.
Yeah, I didn't know the first one had. I think I was watching the first one you guys ever did when it was just you two. That only had like 89 views, and now it's like what we average, I guess.
Yeah.
It's pretty much now.
I think the highest we were at tonight was 65 last time I checked.
Yeah,
It's funny because I went back and I figured out how much watch hours I have, and I'm like right at real close to 6,500 hours of watch time now. So that means that, you know, everybody combined has spent 270 days total watching me.
I officially like Kyle Busch even less now. I was just scrolling through Twitter, and he's at the Yankees versus Astros game tonight, and he just posted this picture of them in Yankees hats. If you look in the background, you see the Astros warming up.
what a bandwagon!
God dang it, Kyle.
Go
what are
Astros.
you doing?
Well,
I'm rooting for the Astros tonight. I don't like the White Sox. God damn it, I can't remember shit.
I'm just
well, hey, he is going for Las Vegas in the NHL. So
I saw Kurt Busch is at the Stanley Cup Finals game, and I'm like, what the hell, Kyle? You're not even from New York. What are you doing at a meaningless?
Wait, he didn't go. Wait, Kyle Busch didn't go to the first game.
Yeah, he's not at the game right now. He's at Yankee Stadium for some reason. I don't know.
He ain't no real
maybe Samantha wanted to go. We'll say Samantha.
That's what really makes me upset. It's not the fact that he's just wearing a Yankees hat. I can deal with that. It's that he could be anywhere else right now except in the Yankees.
The Golden Knights game. I wish I could go to the first game.
I don't like hockey, so I don't give a damn either way.
Well, I like hockey now, but
yeah, I mean, I hope
Is
they win.
tonight the first game, or I thought they already played a game. What?
they played game 2 tonight.
Tonight's game 2.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought is it the first one in Vegas or there's the second game?
Well, the first 2 are in Vegas, and then the next 2 are in. Yeah, it's like the NBA. It's like the NBA play.
I was just confused. I wasn't sure if tonight was game 1 or game 2. I thought it was game 2, but I just.
Hey, how about those Rockets, man? That's what I'm talking about.
I know they lost.
Way to chill.
Kid from Georgia brought up kind of a funny point. Can we stop cutting to Samantha mid-race all the time? Like, she's on her phone all the time anyway. It's kind of true. Like, unless it's the last few laps, every time they cut to her, it's this.
This last race, they cut to her late, and she seemed very nervous. And I'm like,
have you watched?
You got a 6-second lead.
Yes.
Yeah,
And every single restart, you have blown away the field by half a second by the time you're into turn 1.
Mm-hmm. I just remember that meme. It's just.
I just don't know why she was so nervous.
Yeah.
It's all an act.
I didn't say it.
So I say it like just about every time we start talking about them, but it's like that one time that I saw. Wait, what? What's in
Sylvie
the chat?
Gang calls it Fox's wife cam.
They should call it that. Foxy wife cam.
Fun fact about Samantha and them. I think I remember I was reading something maybe even like a week ago. Something I didn't really realize about her and Kyle. Apparently, they really struggled to actually get pregnant. And the fact that they had Brexton was actually pretty much a miracle because I think that they really struggled there for the longest part.
I would love to have Samantha Busch on the podcast. Do you think she'd be up for coming on and talking to us greasy gentlemen?
I would turn
an hour
off
and a half.
the chat. I'd turn off the chat, but I would love. She seems like she has a great sense of humor. Like, I would actually really like to have like Kyle Busch and Samantha Busch on. Like, as much as I don't like Kyle on the track, I got to admit he's not that bad a guy.
It is hard for me to dislike Kyle Busch when I follow him and Samantha on Instagram.
Jared Edwards. One time Kyle struggled to get pregnant. Oh, Jared, never changed, buddy. Yeah, Tom. I think it's Tom Curran says that they put a camera in her face after Kyle's Daytona wreck. I will say the good thing about that though is that the camera person did tell, like you could hear behind the scenes, was like, "Hey, he got out of the car. Like he's generally okay. Like he's okay and coherent." So like I got to admit that wasn't, I didn't mind it that much seeing how they actually told her. It wasn't just, let's see the drama here. It's like, because I admit at the top, right before that happened, I'm like, why are we filming her right now? Like, and then it's like, oh, okay, like I give it a pass now.
What was up with showing Willpower's wife in the pits for the 500? That was like a little invasive. They were like up in her, and she's like turning her back, and they were like tracking her. Like,
yeah, I
different
know.
culture. I don't know. That was
And say this is the stuff that I was nowhere to watch it. So
Well, I was gonna ask. I guess this wouldn't be interesting to you, Danny, but I assume did you guys watch the Indy 500 and what did y'all think of it?
most of it. Yeah,
I watched most of it.
It was definitely the best race of the weekend.
I did say that Danica wrecked pretty early on. So I did. Say
Yeah,
that.
because I put on Twitter, I'm like, called it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, and then like somebody like in a private account or whatever, like I got a response to it like, all of you people are just the same about her, and it's like, well, I mean, she got tracked.
I did watch her post race interview that she did with the media and everything, and she had a terrible attitude during that. She really did.
Well, I do want to ask what record that she had. What record in IndyCar does she hold right now? And it will surprise a lot of you guys.
She did before that, didn't she own the record for like most consecutive races without wrecking out or DNFing?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, she wasn't a bad IndyCar driver. She wasn't great.
No.
But
And I'm gonna cut her slack for the Indy 500 wreck. We saw tons of experienced drivers spin out like that. Tony Kanaan did. I think wasn't Castroneves one of the guys who's just spun out like that.
think so.
Yeah. So
It was a very, very hot weekend. That track surely was very slick.
I gotta say though, the guy that impressed me was Alexander Rossi.
Mhm.
He was like going on the high side. Like my grandpa, my uncle, and I were just like, I know again in different spots, but had the same reaction.
Yeah,
You could do that.
Nobody could pass all day, and he was just going 2 wide, 3
He
wide.
went video game mode there. I mean, he was going video game mode.
Like he was really good. Yeah, but the Indy 500 to me, it was I mean, I gave it like a 7 out of 10 because the first half of the race was just boring, single file, you know, and basically most of the cautions, like you could tell the drivers had no control of their cars. They kept spinning out on their own, like some of them coming off the turns.
Oh,
And,
the ratings are in? Damn.
Yeah, the Indy 500 had 5 million, I think.
4.9 it says in chat compared to Daytona's 9.3. So both I think are down from last year, but I wonder what the Cook 600 TV ratings are. They're probably down, but
Someone brought up something here interesting in the comments, and I actually sent this in our group chat earlier. There was actually, unfortunately, somebody who lost their life at the Indy 500 parking lot apparently over the weekend.
Yeah, I saw that. Does anyone know how? Like what happened?
they're not saying anything, but he was found dead at like
They don't necessarily suspect foul play, but the cause is under investigation.
what I'm thinking is maybe he just fell and hit his head. I mean, that's something that people don't take into consideration with a lot of that. Is that like sometimes it just is a freak accident.
Yeah, but they didn't find him until like way later, right?
Yeah, really quick, TV ratings for Charlotte earned a 2.4 overnight for the 600, off from 2.8 from last year. But last year didn't go against the NBA playoffs either.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean that's not horrible, but it's not great. But you know, that's not as big a drop as we've seen from some races this year. So that's
not a 35% drop. So improvement. We're not dropping as much.
I do think it's interesting in IndyCar at least, and I say this, you know, I don't want to bash it. This isn't not bashing IndyCar, and I say this because the Indy 500 is a great spectacle. It's a great fan event. It's the biggest single day sporting event in America. But the fact that they can get 300,000 people to go to the Indianapolis 500, a terrible racetrack, even for IndyCar, it's not that much fun for IndyCar.
Yeah.
It's not a good racetrack. The fact you can get 300,000 to go there, and basically every other IndyCar race. I mean, I don't know. I know we'll go to. I've only because I've seen Texas at IndyCars. They go to Texas in a week or two. There's probably going to be 40,000 people there. Probably, maybe at most 40,000. IndyCar fans, they got a lot of bandwagon fans that come out just for the Indy 500.
Yeah.
The Snake Pit is a concert deal, so it's just
And it's literally happening during the race. There's like a good 20,000, 10,000 people probably, and they're not even watching the race. It's just it's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's still incredible. I'd love to go to the Indy 500 one day. I just think it's interesting that race still draws hundreds of thousands of people, and then everyone just disappears for all the other 20 races or whatever they have in a season. It's like, where do they go? IndyCar
racing is like that one kid who had like a week in high school where he was popular. Then like as soon as the next week came around, everyone just was like, yeah, fuck you, man. You're still annoying. You still smell.
But they have it. It's
Like-
every year. It's the same time every year. Like, doesn't matter what's going on in the season. They're all going to show up for the Indy 500. I just think it's wild to me.
And like, what's weird about it? Like, what's weird about IndyCar to me is I was talking about this with my stepdad because we were talking about like, you know, how they're totally different. And he said like, it's weird that like the Indy 500 winning that is like up with like winning the IndyCar championship. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, if you win the Daytona 500 in NASCAR, it's like, yeah, I mean, that's a huge accomplishment. But I mean, the championship is like, you know, up there. But then it's like in IndyCar, they're like on the same level. I don't know. It's just, it's odd.
like I'll be honest, I don't pay that close of attention to IndyCar. I do not know who won the championship last year, but I know Takano won the Indy 500.
Newgarden.
Yep.
Newgarden. Okay, actually, I did. That sounds right, but I didn't know that off the top of my head. I knew the Indy 500.
I knew this was coming.
Indy 500,
I knew this was coming. Danny had said it in the chat too. Josie Lazalde, maybe too soon. I died in the Indianapolis parking lot.
Oh. Yeah.
I knew it was coming. Hey, Danny, don't you say anything. I know what you sent in the chat.
And I thought Will Power in the post race talking about how important this race was and how like he kind of said like a lot of people feel like his career didn't mean much because he didn't have an Indy 500 win, and now that he does,
it's like championships though. Like that.
Yeah, it's like
I think it's such a different. It's such a different like, and it's the same with like F1. And it's such a different culture, like racing culture compared to NASCAR. You know, so
yeah,
I mean, it's like Nick Sant said, Indy 500's been around since 1911. I mean,
yeah,
that's right up there with like what is it, the Kentucky Derby and all this other stuff. Like, I mean, you go like over 100 years of an event, like that shit is like it means something. You know, like Daytona now is at what's Daytona at? It's like 61. Yeah, 60.
Yeah.
Like once Daytona starts hitting like that 75, 80, 85, I guarantee you like it'll be worldwide the same kind of prestige as Indy, no matter what happens in NASCAR. Even if the Daytona 500 is the only race they run all year, it will still be that big thing.
They'll have one race.
Well, I mean, the way that they keep like slipping, man, anything's possible.
And it's funny think about how we got the 3 races happening on that day, and I'm not trying to make it offend anyone because I'm in the same exact class. If you go from the start of the morning, you got probably your classiest people in Monaco.
Yeah,
because you see pictures of like there's places where they're just sitting there drinking wine while the race is going on. That's happening over in Monaco. Then you got your Indy 500, which is kind of a mix. You got a lot more people of higher class, but also some people of like a lower class. But then there's us NASCAR fans. We're just good old redneck boys having fun. So.
So it's basically like being the Sunday Memorial Day. You just start the day, and it's like, oh, you're and me, and then by the end of the day, you're just sort of like, let's have some fun.
Did you guys watch all 3 races? I did.
I couldn't get the F1. I recorded the F1 race. I'm gonna watch it sometime this week.
Yeah. Tom Brady was there. He was in Daniel Ricciardo's pit stall or in their pit area. So I still can't believe he won the race with the power failures or whatever that.
I did see that. about that. So, well, and Tom saying Monaco was awful. I assume that a lot of it was just follow the leader, but it's like, I mean, the racing part of it really isn't the main draw for F1. Like the draw for F1 is the technology.
Yeah.
And like how amazing, like they're basically airplanes flat on the ground.
They're rocket ships. They're basically rocket ships on wheels.
And we have bricks. We're racing bricks. They're racing rockets.
Yeah.
And guys, I just want to bring something up. I can't believe it's been 8 years since Ivan Vanko's tragic attack at the 2010 Monaco Grand Prix. Can you believe that, guys? It's been 8 years since that happened. In 2010, Ivan Vanko, the guy who come out there with those electric whips, started whipping everybody. Tony Stark was in the lead in the Monaco Grand Prix. It's been 8 years since that guy's attack.
Yeah, it's weird.
What?
Iron Man 2.
I'm just
damn. I've only seen Iron Man 1.
I can't believe like in that movie out of anything they can do, they have a guy attack the Monaco Grand Prix.
Yeah.
I remember in one of the Transformers, they had a Jimmy Johnson, a Juan Pablo Montoya, and like a somebody else like Transformer.
Junior. Yeah.
I remember that because I was like, my brother's like, you want to watch it? I'm like, just fast forward to the part with Junior in it, and then let me go on with my life. No, because I know there were a lot of memes made about that after, like, and that was right around when I first got a phone that could go online. And so I'm like, NASCAR memes, and the whole thing is like, wow, I'll actually watch NASCAR now. And it shows like Montoya's car with 2 machine guns on the top of it, and like Johnson's car has spikes, and then Junior's car is like the wing has like guns on the back of it. It's like,
you barely even see him. I thought there was going to be more of a build-up, like the cars like just leaving Chicagoland Speedway or something like that. But no, that never happens.
Yeah, this would be a great topic. I guess we could maybe today or for maybe a future stream is like NASCAR cameos in big budget movies. Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski in Sharknado. I think of Jeff Gordon. Jeff Gordon was in Looney Tunes Back in Action with Brendan Fraser. I don't know if y'all seen that, but that always was one of my favorites.
And then you had the entirety of Logan Lucky.
Yeah.
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 Wait, what? I love Kyle Busch's part. The guy, like Carl Edwards, gets the Ole out of the car. I'm gonna need you to calm down. The car speeds like, did you see that?
he did the perfect Barney Fife impression for that.
Yeah.
I remember, was it Cleveland show? They had Stewart and Junior racing against each other, and then it shows Casey Kane. And it's like, wow, Dale and Tony are gone, and everyone else wrecked. If I drive just safe and careful, I'll win the race. And it shows him start driving forward and all his wheels fall off. It's like, oh, shucks. I'm like, Casey Kane's career in a nutshell.
That is so sad. Just poor Casey. And it
but it's like, he's like, oh, shucks.
What's even worse is that they didn't just get like some random voice actor to say he's Casey Kane. No, they actually got Casey Kane to read that line.
They got Dale Jr., Tony Stewart, and Casey Kane. I was like, man, what contract loophole are they stuck in?
Yeah, the Cleveland show. Yeah, they had like a ton of like star cameos.
Boney,
they did
Boney
the
Chuck.
that was funny.
Boney Chuck, since you said not to, how about the South Park episode with NASCAR?
That was awesome.
I've actually never seen that
what do you
one.
think about that one, Boney Chuck?
Wow.
Yeah, I was like, when I was younger, I didn't like it, but then it's like looking at it now, it's like, whatever. If you know you've made it in pop culture if South Park makes fun of it.
Yeah, if South Park makes fun of it.
It's like you know you've made it.
Irrelevant.
I still say I love the King of the Hill episode about NASCAR.
Oh yeah. Do you want to be he asked his son, or do you want to be Jeff Gordon? Oh, I want to be him. I like him. He's handsome.
And then there's a part where they're looking at the pace car behind the ropes, and then like Bobby said something about these ropes are soft, and then Dale Earnhardt walks up. I like these ropes; they're soft.
Okay. I have this. It's from a Jeff Foxworthy show, but it's him talking about like NASCAR fans and why they hate Jeff Gordon. Now, this is early 2000, so it's dated, but I think you guys would find this kind of funny.
Oh, was that like on
Yeah.
That's for NASCAR fans in Phoenix.
Yeah, this is it. I think it's like 2 minutes.
I love anything Jeff
NASCAR,
Foxworthy.
I'll tell you this, it's a difficult thing to talk about on stage because NASCAR fans will start fighting with each other. Because every NASCAR fan's got that one driver they love, and every NASCAR fan's got that one driver they can't stand. And it's Jeff Gordon. It's always Jeff Gordon. You know what? I figured out why a lot of NASCAR fans don't like Jeff Gordon. And it's not because Gordon won the points championship last year, because he wins a lot of races. A lot of NASCAR fans don't like Jeff Gordon because Jeff Gordon enunciates. And there's not a place in NASCAR for that kind of stuff. See, true NASCAR fans want an interview with the driver where you have no idea what he's talking about. Well, I tell you, we run pretty good all day long and did about a little bit of a push early in the race, brought her in, Booger Jackson wedge in, and she ran like spotted butt ape after that.
Nice.
Real good pit stop, especially that splash and go there towards the end. Did get a little trouble in the middle of the race. Ricky puked the motor. I got in his oil. I touched Dale there on the backside, but for the most part, the Hardee's, Burger King, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Chevrolet, she just awesome.
It's so true. That's good.
As southern as I am, I'm like, dude, what? There any words in that?
I knew you guys would like that one.
I
Man, put some mud in it.
I love anything Jeff Foxworthy and Bill Engvall. They were the best of the blue collar comedy group.
But it's so true. It's kind of and you could tell how dated it was with they hate Gordon not because he won the points championship. I'm like, damn, that was a while ago. Whoa. They're asking what's that video called. It's actually I didn't get it as a video. I got it on my iPhone. I looked up NASCAR, and in the music section that came up. So you can download it as a song. But so I'll be like listening in the car. I'll be like Avenged Sevenfold or like Zeppelin and Guns N' Roses, all this stuff, and then that starts up. I'm just like, I'm happier now. I'm listening to the truth. What did Carnation say? I see that Rusty left something in chat. What did Carnation say?
All right.
I don't know.
Yeah, Boney Chuck's right. It is from Jeff Foxworthy's greatest hits. And I remember I show basically anyone who watches NASCAR that, and they're like, that's pretty true. Pretty true. Jared Edwards, stop with that heresy. Trevor Bain can't even make it through a full season. Okay, someone talk. God damn, I can't carry this show.
All right, so
let's talk about Pocono this weekend.
Oh, you guys
I said talk, not talk over each other. Okay, yeah, Pocono. What do we got for picks? I want to go
Pocono.
It's time to get close to the microphone.
Everyone, buckle your seatbelts.
Holy shit, no turn 3. Pocono this weekend, because we can't talk about the racing because it sucks ass.
See, me, Jared, and Danny have like external microphones that we can get right up close to. Poor Darian's gonna have to get right up to his screen to talk to give us some hits.
Single file racing at its mic.
He does have a mic. Oh shoot, I didn't know you had a mic over there.
Can you hear me in your soul?
In a world where 5 idiots talk about NASCAR.
I assumed you were speaking into like your laptop or your computer mic.
Oh, I've had this mic forever.
I mean, you sound good.
Like this. He's like, yeah.
I just never saw the mic. Okay, well now I feel like an idiot.
I always have it on the side of my laptop.
Yeah, see, I put it right here just because I want people to make me. I look professional. I got headphones. I got a microphone. I look like there should be like foam on the walls, and I look like I'm in a.
I actually do have foam on the walls next to mine and behind it, and it doesn't help with jack shit.
I've got an idea. Let's turn to the chat here for about 10 minutes or less. Give us something that you want us to say close to the microphone and in a deep voice,
and say which one of us you want it to be.
Yeah.
Before we do that, I don't know who said it, but I think we have a name for the podcast. It's 5 Idiots Talk About NASCAR.
Yeah.
5 guys.
But I'll say this: I don't want to change it from NASCAR podcast just yet because that actually gets us a lot of searches. So. Okay. I got that one.
That's funny.
From Tyler Johnson. Here you go. Seepage.
Wow.
Okay. I'm up.
I'm actually crying a little. That's bad.
I'm up. I'm so epic.
Fuck. Danny B eats ASMR. What?
Reed Fountain. No.
Reed what?
I'll say it. Ty Dillon is the best driver ever. Laughing face.
Jesus loves you.
Oh, okay, Wes Graham. A wood button accent from the Iceberg.
That's good. That's good. I like that.
That's good.
From Tyler Johnson, Moisty Myers.
Okay, from AB68. Samantha Bush is a sexy woman. Your discretion is advised.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, the line is drawn there. I'm sorry, I'm not saying that. Like,
will not say, and I will not say what Incarnation said either. That's taking it a little too far.
oh, we got one for Eric.
Okay, there you go. You can say that one.
What's that from? I don't understand it.
Just say it.
I'll say it. I should not have bought that shovel at Lowe's.
Oh shit! I got one. Oh, I got a good one. Where's my super suit?
I put it away.
Okay, here's one for me. This podcast is stupid but enjoyable.
I think that should be the title. That should be the title every week.
Kid from Georgia. What is even happening?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here we go. I'll say it in a low, deep voice. Check the motherfucking damage. Where's the fucking trigger? Here's one. I know it hasn't been. It's gonna be asked. We're on the back straightaway. Fucking Einstein.
Gosh, the Batman takes.
You're starting to sound like Batman.
Where are they? Oh my God, your mom's name is Martha too? Is she dead too?
Okay, here's one from Smitty Rules for Eric, and you might want to try this in whatever your voice is for your stop motion stuff. Say, put the cookie down in a Dell Jr. voice.
Put the cookie down. Jerk.
Get a little burger wedge in there. Here's one for Darian.
It's giving me time to
see. Oh. What are those?
Are you that guy from that meme?
Oh, here's one. Say 4 wide inside.
I just keep thinking of David Who. It's like, put it out.
Okay. I got one here from What Incarnation. He just says, okay, here we go. He literally just said breathe. So
this is good. It's good. I needed this delay so I could think about my picks for Pocono. I didn't have a decision yet.
Wes Graham.
You're a dirty liar.
You're a dirty liar. This is Dale Jr. Oh, let's see. Nationwide is on your side. Stage winner Martin Truex Jr. God, isn't it said enough?
Sing the Halo voice theme song in a deep voice.
Okay. No, hey, is there any way?
One second. Let me. Seeping.
Going back to the Halo 4, is there any way we can coordinate all of us and to just try to sing that? The theme song for that?
What Incarnation?
Yes, I don't even know it well now.
My brother just sent me a text. You want me to read that one?
Yeah. No. Oh, well, sure.
Yeah.
Is it relevant?
Yeah. Yep. It's relevant. You guys are fucking weird. I'm recording the stupidity.
This is being recorded for you. Our views went up 7 viewers since we started this. I was paying attention. I was paying
click the like button. Hey, yeah, good ratio. We need the ratio to improve though. Yeah. Oh, aggressive goes around. Oh,
I like that one.
Damn it, Daniel.
So Pocono this weekend, the Tricky Triangle, 2.5 miles,
and the views plummet.
Today we're going to talk about golf.
Here's one from me. Put it out, and that's all he told me to say.
Vicious rubbing on Infowars.com. Goddamn chemical trails.
Brad Keselowski won this race.
That was really good.
The Tricky Triangle. They're about to come through. I don't really know how to do it.
Brad Keselowski won this race.
Okay, we can do this until it says. Okay, it's 9:53 now. We can do it until it says 56. So we can do it until then.
Oh, the Yankees won. Alaskan Yankee. Oh, that's good for them. Didn't win Game 7 last year, so I'm glad they won
And
tonight.
We have a caution.
Paul Menard wins Pocono.
That's a good one.
I could say it.
My brother's like, please stop. It's embarrassing. To my brother, you're 15. That's embarrassing enough.
It feels obvious, but I feel like my pick this weekend is Ryan Blaney. I think he's going to – I know he won here last year in one of the races, but I feel like that's just I'm going to go with that. I know he had a good run going before his engine failure this last week, so I'm going to go with Ryan Blaney.
Yeah, he was my pick in my preseason videos, and I'm still kind of sticking to him.
Mm-hmm. If I had all the money in the world to bet or whatever, I'd bet on Kevin Harvick still. But if you want a slightly more original pick, I'll go with Blaney.
If you look back to that race, if you look back to that race a year ago when Blaney won, Harvick was right on his bumper. So
yes, and it'll probably be the other way around this year. Harvick leading with Blaney and everybody else desperately trying to reach that bumper.
Harvick has never won at Pocono either, so.
Mm-hmm. Shit, he can win.
God damn, he has
this week. He'll probably win this week.
Yeah, you want to know how? Okay, so you know how he leads a shit ton of laps. How many laps do you think he's led? Like, give me an over/under.
This year, Harvick?
No, at Pocono. Like in his
Pocono. I'll bet he's led 49 laps.
I bet he's led under 10 laps.
Waiting for the other two.
70.
Under 10.
I'm gonna say 55.
I just don't remember.
Danny, you were the closest. You were the closest. 68.
Oh,
okay.
I like how to say that one. I'm gonna put my pick up, and I see everyone keeps saying Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin hasn't won at Pocono in 8 years, so no.
He dominated before. I think wasn't it a repave or something that he's always complained about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, the team that has been good, even though I don't think they're going to keep being good, is Hendrick. They've been pretty good at the repave, but I don't think any of them are gonna be the winners. I think they might be in top 10, but that's about it.
I will say this. I will say this. We didn't really mention much about it, but Elliott and Bowman did run fairly well this past weekend too.
Yeah. Eric Jones is pretty good too.
Well, that's what I was getting at. My pick, and then I have I'll do my dark horse pick with it. My pick is Eric Jones. He finished in the top 10 both races last year, including a third in the June race. And I think that he hasn't been running too awful, just about bad luck. But my dark horse pick is another driver who last year had a top 10 and has an average finish in those 2 races of 11th. I'm going to go with Suarez as my dark horse pick as a top 5 kind of pick.
I'm going with Paul Menard as my dark horse pick. He's proven to be good at the big fat fast tracks in the past. Wow, I don't know what just happened.
What did you just say?
Flat fast tracks. Anyway.
Big fat ass tracks.
Something like that. Something like that. It'd be natural for Paul Menard to win there, but I think Paul Menard's a good dark horse pick because also he's driving that 21 car, which Blaney won in last year.
Yeah.
All right, so for my picks, hold on. First, Tyler wants me to say this, so I will butter my egg roll. So there you go.
Okay, that's the last ASMR for me.
West Graham thick tracks.
All right, and also before I make my picks, first off, I want to pay my condolences to Greg Galding's Twitter. He deleted it. I don't know why.
Moment of silence.
Yeah.
I've really been thinking about this.
I need moment of silence, man.
He
hates him, man. He hates him.
I really want to do a video sometime on what my actual deal is with Golding. I don't hate the man personally, but there are just a lot of things about the way his career has gone that I have just disliked. And eventually, I'm going to do a video detailing that.
Yeah. So for my picks, I don't know. I want to say Brian Blaney's going to win it. But then, let's be realistic here. I know Harvick's not very dominant at the racetrack before, but the 18 and the 4 can't be stopped. So it's probably going to be the 4 again, unfortunately. I will put Ryan Blaney as my dark horse pick. And for my upset pick, if it rains again, Chris Buescher will get career win number 2.
Oh, I didn't even think of an upset pick.
What wasn't his other win at Pocono?
He only has one win. Yeah.
Wasn't it at Pocono?
Yeah, it's a rain shortened race.
Has that ever been done where a driver goes his whole career with only having 2 wins and they're both rain shortened at one track? Has that ever happened? No way that's ever happened.
No.
Give me a week to fact check that.
I guarantee you that's never happened.
Okay, my dark horse or my underdog pick, weird out there pick, and I wouldn't say it if he hadn't crashed 3 times in the last 4 races. There is Jimmy Johnson. He'll be my complete underdog, especially how bad they've sucked this year. I think at this point, with how bad they've been, granted he's 12th in points, but that's more a product of the crappy point system and the lack of really good cars out there than Jimmy Johnson actually picking up performance. He's right there with the Eric Almirolas, the Paul Menards, he's in that 12th to 20th range that just is meh. Yeah, the 40. I think how bad Hendrick has been and how bad Johnson especially has been for how he normally does. 48 is definitely an underdog.
Ooh, I don't know. You're pushing it there, man. I don't know.
Well, how long are we gonna take to acknowledge reality here?
I don't know that I could say he's I've talked about him as an underdog, but I can't call him a super underdog, and I can't say it's obvious. I think you could debate that because if you look at the end of last season. At the end of last season, he was in the round of 8, so he was competitive at the end of last season. It's really only been, we all know, people who watch every race know, it's really been almost a year now since he really, really was competitive. But he's still been a top 10 driver and team. I don't know. I'm glad at least you're not. It sounds like nobody in here has really bought into the whole Hendrick Motorsports is back after one decent race at Charlotte. I'm glad.
If they continue this through say Daytona or Chicagoland, then I'll start believing again. I'll retract that statement. But
Jared's definitely skeptical of your pick there.
You know what? I'm seeing in the chat, a lot of people are saying Chase Elliott's going to get his first win.
I didn't say he was a pick. I said he was an underdog. There's a big difference.
I don't want to say Elliott for
his first win.
I don't want to say Elliott for Pocono. I do want to say him potentially for Michigan, though.
Exactly.
I think I sent it to Danny and Darian about my idea for a Chase Elliott video.
Yeah.
That would fit perfectly. I'll tell you the other two the idea I had afterwards because I kind of want to keep it somewhat of a surprise.
Who was it? You, Danny, who picked Eric Jones this weekend?
That was me.
No, it was you, Jared. Okay, yeah. Well,
I think leading into the week, I picked Harvick, but then the day of, when I looked at the practice speeds and qualifying,
I was talking about Pocono. I'm talking about for Pocono.
Pocono. No, my preseason video predictions, I picked Blaney.
Yeah, you said okay. You said Jones, Jared. I'm glad you're optimistic. I'm not nearly as optimistic about Eric Jones. I just feel like that team. I think Eric Jones can get it done. I think his team sucks. That team. Yeah. They swapped crew chiefs. Chris Gale's not as good as Jason Ratcliffe. I think that pit crew just isn't as good in general. I don't know if it's the same pit crew that Kenseth had last year, although they made mistakes with Matt Kenseth last year plenty of times. So I think that pit crew's iffy. I last week, he should have had top 5 at Charlotte, but the pit crew had the incident with Casey Kane. That really wasn't anyone's fault. But then they had later, I think they had the last pit stop, they had a outside or loose tire or something like that. They had a uncontrolled tire pit road or pit penalty. So it's just feels like Jones's team. They're terrible. I don't know.
He should have had a top 3.
He should have had at least a top 5.
Top 3.
Oh, Wes Graham, hold the phone, Wes Graham. Cope is racing this weekend. I don't know. I think runaway favorite there, guys.
Why is he still racing though?
Yeah.
Well, you saw how the 2 Cope girls kept crashing cars. He's still got to pay that shit off.
I thought those Cope girls were actually his daughters, but they're his nieces. I didn't know that.
Cope can end his 28-year winless streak this weekend.
Yeah, it's funny that they're running 2 cars when they can't even afford one competitive car.
Yeah, I don't know.
Make it to the halfway point before you put another car out there.
They do pay a lot of money for some good-looking wraps for the cars, though. I'll give them that. They got good-looking cars.
Yeah, Nick, I know he owns Starcom and stuff, but I mean, if you're gonna have a second team, I mean, wouldn't you want a much more, competitive driver? I mean, Derek Cope, I mean, yeah, that's his team, but I would rather hire someone who at least.
I had so much hope when I first heard about this team coming in so late in the season. I was like, maybe Derek Cope can be smart and just run a few races here at the end of the year just to get him into the sport, and then shock the world with like a Carl Edwards or something like that next year. No, I shouldn't have thought that.
No, but he's been. I thought the same thing, but I mean, he keeps switching drivers. He had Jeffrey Earnhardt, then you got Landon Castle, who I thought he should have hired the first time, and then for the Talladega race, they have Joey Gase. For what? Why?
But I'll say this for next season: go with one driver. Go with Trevor Bayne next season. No. I'm being serious. If you just think about the quality of that team and the fact that Trevor's still a likable guy, I think he just needs something that might honestly be his best bet.
He's serious.
I'm being serious.
All right, enough. Stop it.
It's dead already. Stop.
I mean, he might be able to draw in Advocare. I don't know.
You know what? I will agree with that. If he can bring them in, then yeah, hire him.
Hey, Bayne looks a little better, I'd say, after the last couple of weeks because they put Kenseth in that car and he was trash at Kansas, iffy in the All-Star race. He was okay at Charlotte, but I think Bayne's looking a little better. It's making it look more like the car. And Stenhouse has been saying that Kenseth is saying everything that Stenhouse has been saying this whole time about how trashy the cars are. So I think Bayne looks Bayne looks better, I'd say, than he did a month ago.
Yeah.
He ain't got nothing on Derek Cope though.
Yeah,
Derek Cope's 10 out of 10 of those races.
Kid from Georgia says Cope wins a race and the NASCAR world explodes. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, Derek Cope and Trevor Bayne, Daytona 500 winners. Let's get them together. Perfect combination.
They combined have 3 more Daytona 500s than Jimmy Johnson has lap sled.
I bet Derek Cope has led more laps this year than Jimmy Johnson.
Actually, Derek Cope and Jimmy Johnson have the same amount of Daytona 500. Or no, win. Oh, fuck. Retracted statement.
Stream over.
All right, and that went from 5 idiots on a stream to 4. Bye, guys.
Dislikes just doubled. No.
Wait, we went to 2?
No, we're still at 0.
Oh, we're back down to 0?
Yeah.
Cool. We were at like 2 for a while.
I know. People
they changed their minds.
You bastards.
I think they were mad that when they didn't see Darian at first, and then they're like, "Oh, there he is. Okay, good." Because they see his name in the description, they get.
They retract dislikes like I retract every statement I make.
Yeah.
All right.
So did everyone give their picks? Don't know if everyone gave their picks.
I think so.
Okay. I didn't give mine as usual. I usually wait till I see practice because I don't know when people watch this. I don't know how many people watch the video on demand. But last year, Kyle Busch dominated both races. Nobody said Kyle Busch. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, it's the too obvious of a pick.
Yeah,
and plus him and Harvick. Him and Harvick, I guess, do go 3 in a row every time they win one. So
and I think people would be bored shitless hearing us say the same 2 people each week. And like Wes Graham says, Cole the Frog Custer back is this weekend.
So I did pull up some driver ratings. I was shocked to see Kurt Busch have a driver rating. I think he was top. Well, I think Chase Elliott was somehow the number 1 overall, then Denny Hamlin, then Kurt 3. But I was shocked to see Kurt up there. And I mean, Iceberg mentioned Denny Hamlin, like he hasn't won I don't know how many years. So those are kind of your 2 sleepers, but it's still Harvick, Busch, and then maybe Truex, Larson, Blaney. Like that's 5 guys. That's it. Unless the rain rolls in, unless something happens, that's it. That's literally it in my book.
Yeah. Those are the only people who have any chance of dominating the race. I think there's a couple. I think you could throw in names like a Jones or like a
I agree.
Logano or even maybe a Hendrick car that sneaks in there and is competitive and takes advantage of something with pit strategy or whatever. But yeah, I think you're right. It's 4 or 5 names are the only ones that have a chance of like. Those are the 5 people you named are probably going to be the stage winners, or people who are going to compete for stage wins.
What incarnation? The shoe that killed Danica wins Pocono.
Is this the new meme we have for the week now? Like last week we had the NASCAR busts, so this week we have who wins Pocono or who's entered into Pocono.
We should have the guy who climbed the Richmond, or no, that's the chat there, says Richmond fence, but we should get the guy who climbed the fence this last weekend on the podcast.
I would love.
Oh, totally. Like,
he's already here. He's already here. No,
let's seriously let's see if we can do some 4chan level CSI shit and find out who he was.
Or better yet, maybe we make a deal where we don't show his face, but let's find the guy who hacked into everyone's radios during the race.
Yes.
And let's find that guy and have him on the podcast, do a voice changer and everything. Have him blank screen with a black mask and just go
yes, it was me. I am the dark side. I am the one who ruins the leaders.
We can have him. He can give his whole his whole spiel about how he wants to take over the world, how he thinks F1's the greatest sport.
No,
trying to tear down all other motorsports. We can do that, and it'll be great.
Find out it's actually Marty Reed trying to get a new job.
It's
I was pretty bad at announcing, so I just decided to do this. I thought I'd hack into Indy. It was NASCAR. Damn, another thing I got wrong.
Marty Reed is, by the way, for those of you who don't know this, Marty Reed is Ultimate 23 Dragons' favorite commentator. That should say a lot.
Wow, that's insane.
How did you guys reach out to Elijah this week? I jumped on here and I'm like, damn, how did that conversation start?
Well, me and Elijah have been good online friends for years, ever since before he got this popularity. So I've known him for a while.
He was really good. The amount of time I caught, I thought he was really, really good for the stream or for the NASCAR discussion. I thought he was great.
He's a great guy, and I definitely, same as me. I'm trying to get my resumes and stuff out there to a couple of teams. I'm kind of taking it one at a time. There's one team that I've got in mind that I'd love to go work for, but I'm wanting to work with a team now, actually, and because now that I actually went out to Charlotte and seen that area, I actually really loved it out there, and now. I've got a bachelor's degree. I've definitely am improving more on the social media stuff and learning all that stuff. I'd really like to just work for a team, honestly. So, and then same for him. I'm sure he's going to be able to work for somebody.
All right, so really quick, to answer Kid from Georgia's question, the only way I will make that video is if she comes at me first. I decided that. She got to come at me first.
What was the question? What was the?
Why haven't I made? Because in the ARCA stream I did on my channel, she's like, someone said, make a post video on Ultimate 23 Dragon. That's the only way. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe I will. But then I slept on it and I was like, you know what? I don't know. I don't want to just call her out on that and stuff. I mean, she hasn't done anything to me. So you guys have to convince her to make a video about me first. And then I'll make a video.
The fans got to start the drama and we'll just fan the
you guys got to start the drama, not me.
So sweet deal.
It's okay, Wes Graham's can we start roasting her? And I'm like, do it, I dare you. And he responds, I don't know that much about her.
Took your guys' word for it.
hey, let's get her on the show. That'd be a good show.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't really know much about her, and actually just looked at her channel, and it's just kind of very entertaining. Everything catches my eye. She's got a pretty decent following here, 1,344 subscribers. But just the pure state of whatever's going on in her cover art here, I'm seeing Travis Quaffle, Kenny Wallace, Robbie Gordon, Brad from his earlier days here. I think this is Johnny Sauter from a few years ago. Here's I don't know what her cartoon avatar is.
We should send her my Kenny Wallace video. Let's see how that goes over.
Bill Elliott, younger Casey Kane, Scott Wimmer, I think.
Yeah, she likes the most trashiest drivers.
Joe Nemechek, and then here's the Undertaker. Hi, Undertaker.
Yeah, she's a big wrestling fan too. I don't know, but I mean, yeah, it's a decent following, but you have to put this into perspective. You and me, Danny, we've been on YouTube for basically 4 months or 5 months now. And we pretty much have right around the same, or if not more than her. She's been on here for 5 years. So Kamikaze said it best. She really, she has a decent following, really only because at the time when she first started doing this, NASCAR, the whole NASCAR YouTube community wasn't I guess as diverse as it is now. You have a ton of different options. back then, I guess you didn't have that many options.
Yeah, like 4 channels really back then, because she started in what, like
2011.
And then us kids hit about 20 years old, and we said, "Hey, we can do this too."
Yeah, fuck it.
If you can do it, I can do it better. Is that how it goes?
Anything you can do, I can do better. Anything that you can do, I can do better than you. Yes,
No, you
can.
can.
Yes,
No,
I
you
can.
No, you can. Yes, I can.
Yes, I can.
All right, so maybe we've already talked about all the big things to talk about. Maybe we can talk a little bit with the chat here.
We're gonna do what we did on Darian's stream and just have a roast session where everyone says how bad my upload schedule is.
They were making fun of dead drivers. Like, you guys are sick.
Yeah, they take it too far.
Jesus, what happened there?
No, like the worst one was NASCAR bus. Russell Phillips' body.
Yikes.
God. Guys, horrible.
Y'all are gonna meet me down in hell. Damn.
Ultimate Dragon 23 versus Ryan Holman. That would be pretty cool.
Who's your favorite non-champion other than Dale Jr.? I'd have to say Mark Martin for sure.
Yeah.
Carl Edwards.
Oh, said it at the same time. See?
Jinx.
Wow, Dark Knight out here roasting other people, not even roasting us.
Kamikaze was last week.
It looks like someone took a crap on Ty Dillon's head.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll say this.
Didn't say crap.
Yeah, I'm gonna be nice, but I seen recent pictures of Ty Dillon over the weekend, and he looks like he got a little bit of a haircut. And I swear he looks a lot like the Iceberg.
So any insult to Ty Dillon is an insult to the Iceberg. Just keep that in mind.
Poor Iceberg. I see you there. I see you.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it.
A lot of good questions in here. And by a lot of good questions, there's no questions. So that's okay. It's just people giving their own comments, which is fine.
While we started the stream, Brad Kozlowski put out another blog, and it was about his vision for hybrid engines. And I think if we all read that, I think we could talk about it forever because it's kind of controversial to say the least. But I don't. It's a pretty long blog, and it's.
Who did I hear?
We can do a review of it later.
So I think it might be a next week type thing because I think a lot of drivers are going to call, like Kyle Busch will call him an idiot.
Hey, guys, really quick. So as you guys know, I'm visiting my little cousin in Virginia. He's waiting for me to play with him and stuff. So kind of got to get going right now really quick. So just let me say this really quick. All right. So like we said, we're trying to get I don't know, some like NASCAR figures or racing figures in general on here. I've been trying my best to try to get Natalie Decker on here. So I need your guys' help. I'm talking to the chat. Guys, go type in her name. She has a YouTube channel. She just recently uploaded yesterday. Go type in her name, click on her recent video, and comment for her to join this stream. Okay? I've been doing it, and so has Iceberg. It has not been working, so we need your guys' help. Basically.
But don't call us like the idiot stream or whatever people were saying earlier. Make sure you make us sound cool.
Yeah, just make us sound legit. All right, guys.
We had like Celebrity of the Week on earlier this episode, so we're legit to some extent.
Yeah. All right, guys. Though I'll see you guys later. I'll be on next week though. I'll still be
on your channel.
What's that?
I think it's on your channel.
It is? Well, it's on my channel then.
You know, NASCAR Nixon can still come on.
Yeah, I'll message him tomorrow. He'll probably say yes.
No, damn Dark Knight. I'll read it because McMurray looks like a mole.
What?
I feel like he looks like a carrot. Like
just carrot.
Just
okay. Funniest Jamie McMurray moment, really quick, is like when he's like, he gets crashed or whatever, and he goes, and like I think Steve Burns or someone's like, Jamie, what happened out there? Why was it so hard to drive? He goes, well, usually when your back tires are lifted off the ground, it gets a lot harder to drive the car.
So, all right, guys, I gotta go really quick. All right, I gotta go.
Man.
All right, I think we can go ahead and start wrapping it up here too. So.
drivers who have the best sense of humor and see if they'd like to do a roast stream someday. Because I feel like if it's someone with a really good sense of humor, like they could have some nice zings back. Like, because that'd be fun. What did I put in there?
I don't know what just happened to the stream, but like I was looking on here, everything just went like completely blacked out. But now we're back, so
I think that happened earlier. I saw somebody mentioned that it like blacked out. The stream.
So
that's the stream saying, "Hey, we need to wrap it up." That's what it's saying.
The YouTube's trying to
your
censor
welcomes.
us. YouTube's trying to censor us. Confirmed.
Yeah. Darn it.
Globalist plot.
We're gonna have to move this over to Twitch until then they censor us, and then we'll come back under a new name.
But the thing is, we can't do this without Google Hangouts. So
That's true. Yeah, it's true.
They can figure something out. I mean, 5 idiots can figure something out together. 5 idiots make up one average person.
Can we?
They need to know we're confident.
I guess I'm gonna start. I guess I'll start wrapping it up then. So we've run out of questions in the chat. So thanks everyone for watching here tonight. My name is Eric. If you don't know me, you can. My username is in the description. Go check out my channel. I uploaded a video today where I went through my top 10 NASCAR paint schemes of all time. Well, I shouldn't say of all time because technically it's just ones that I've seen in the 15 or so years I've been watching NASCAR. But you can go check that out and leave and tweet me your favorite paint schemes. I've been replying to a lot of people on Twitter the last few hours. A lot of people have been sending me a lot of their favorite paint schemes. A couple of them I'm like, oh, dang, I forgot. I might have wanted to put those in my top 10. I kind of forgot about it. There's the 2011 Dale Jr. Amp Energy car that it was 2012, I think. I don't know what year
it was 2012 because I saw that at Chicago.
Yeah, 2012, and I should have put that in there, so I feel dumb now. But other than that, it's been cool to see a lot of paint schemes. So check that out. Check out my Out of the Groove each week. And thanks to Rusty for being on. Darian's gone. I don't have to talk about him anymore. He's gone. Out of sight, out of mind. Thanks to Elijah for being on. And and thanks to Jared and Danny as always. And the audience here on Iceberg's channel has been wonderful. So thank you everybody for being outstanding people. And we'll see you again next week on Darian Black Flags Matters channel. I really have sucked at talking here tonight. Sorry about that.
Thanks talking bad and me spelling bad have made it to the 5 idiots have come true.
We've really screwed this up. But anyway, thanks for watching everybody, and see you guys soon.
And guys, make sure you do lick the like button. I see we have 56. One person has disliked us, unfortunately. So very sad here. But anyways, my name is Danny from DannyBTalks. Eric said that he put up a video of his top 10 NASCAR paint schemes. I've actually been thinking about doing that same kind of video, but maybe now that he's done his, I'll wait a few more weeks on mine. But you can go to my channel and watch a video I put out today on an interesting topic, NASCAR Cafe, why did it fail? So that's going to be the subject of that video. Me being a student from the hospitality program at the University of Tennessee, I thought this would be a pretty good topic for me to discuss. So go ahead and go give that video a watch after the stream. And make sure you do hit the subscribe button to DannyBTalks and hit the subscribe button to all of these guys here. Go follow Elijah Burke on Twitter at Elijah Whosoever is his name on there. And as always, we thank you for watching this stream. It can always be a lot of fun. Someone hit the dislike button again. Why, guys?
Really quick, all those links you were talking about, they're all in the description below. So just go right down there, subscribe to everyone. If you haven't subscribed to all of us already, come on, man. Come on. And then, so let's let our special guest have his outro.
Well, yeah, thanks again for having me on, guys. If I'm not on, I'm watching. It's always a privilege to be, I'm part of the community. I still got this little baby of a channel. So for you guys to give me that opportunity, it means a lot because there's some other guys out there that the chat wants. So hopefully they get their opportunity one day too. And I see a lot of new names in the chat this week. So if you don't know who I am, I don't talk a lot while I'm on here, but I talk a lot on my channel. I do reviews, previews, predictions, reactions, shenanigans. And I always say we all like watching NASCAR, but we probably like talking about it more. And if you want to talk about it, come talk about it over on my channel in the chat. Just let's get the discussion going. And if there's something in the news, I'm on it. If I'm passionate about it or you are, we'll probably jump on it. So that's kind of my deal. It's not as professional as some of these big boys that they're on this weekly podcast, but we'll get there one day. So if you want to join me on the journey, head over onto my channel, hit subscribe, and we'll see you soon. And thanks again, guys, for having me on.
LOL, you call us big boys. I don't like that term.
No, yeah. Rusty's got some good stuff though, so you guys should definitely go check him out. I like watching his. You got some good raw reactions to a lot of stuff and good stuff. So check him out for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And then also remember, like what Incarnation said, he is a presidential candidate. Rusty for president 2020.
Yeah, I forgot. I was gonna do a plug. If I ever get on Eric's channel, I might play the gimmick up a little bit.
Who's going to be your vice presidential candidate?
I got Jared's my guy right now. So if Jared, you're still there, Jared's my guy.
Well, I call being Secretary of Defense.
I think that what Incarnation needs to be your Secretary of Comments.
You mean press secretary?
Yeah. Carnation will be my social media guy.
Yeah, there you go.
He's on top of everything.
Yeah,
like whipped cream.
And with that, I'll do my outro. Thank you guys all for coming on again. It's awesome to do this each week. I will probably by the end of tomorrow, I will have this up on the playlist. So if you want to catch up, if you missed one or whatever, it's on my channel right under the videos when you just click on it. You can follow me on Twitter at IceTitan80, on gab.ai. Speaking is difficult, damn it. Gab.ai, but I don't really go on that. But if you want to see anything I put at Iceberg, subscribe to this channel. Like I said, all the links are below. Next week will be on Darian's channel, Black Flags Matter. So more than likely we'll have NASCAR Nixon on there. And then who knows, I mean, I didn't know until this past afternoon when I was at work that we were having Elijah on. And that was definitely a pleasant surprise to hear about. So you never know what comes on this. But thank you guys again for being on in the chat and the guests. And just click that like button. And with that, we'll see you next week. So thank you guys. Stay safe.
Bye.